Oh,
Oh yeah.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
oh yeah. God, I love women.
Wow, women. Freya, women.
Happy Women Wednesday.
Happy Women Wednesday. Here
We're
we
back
are.
from the new game from the makers of Chrono Jotter.
Yes. This is Raining City. Millions Recollections from 2P Games. Developed by Orca Layout. Published by 2P Games. The same group who gave us the Chrono Jotter. Ronnie Buki. Do I still have
I'm
her?
sure if this is related to Chrono Jotter, but it'll be good stuff either way.
Real. Do I still have her? Whoop, no, that is something else. That is not okay. I don't think I have Ronnie Buki on there anymore. Darn.
I'm going to swap my Fugi to face the other way. Do not be alarmed.
Understandable. Yeah. Deploying.
It's me.
It's you. Yeah. All right. So what do we know about this game? Oh, that
It's raining in the city.
true. It's raining in the city.
And you have $1 million.
Real.
It's wish fulfillment, baby.
It is wish fulfillment. You wake up alone in the city, and you have a black hole in your hand which spawns money. And we have...
Or eats money, I'm not sure.
Yeah, debatable. Maybe both. The city taketh, the city giveth, and the city taketh away. Unclear.
Ain't that just what it's like in the Project's Moons?
It is true. This is very, very true.
And also, this game has 2 romantic interests.
2 of them. Real. We love
Real.
to see it. And we are here. Let's see here. Yeah. All right. One more thing before we deploy. Yeah. All right. Now, are we ready to dive in?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. Orca layout. That is
Also, this is voice. Did you know that?
yeah. Part 1, the hole.
Oh,
Ooh. Oh, we have money count. So, says this is
money so far, big.
big bucks. Lyu Xuan. Am I saying that right? Lyu Xuan
Yes.
conjured an image in her mind. White cruise ship sailing across the vast ocean, its bow slicing the waves, creating a melodious roar of water. Flocks of seagulls glided on the currents. I'm going to turn the text speed up after this, slowly drawing near. Menu, setting, text speed. Eh? Oh. 50. Let's see how this is. Flocks of seagulls glide on the currents, slowly drawing near. After the rain, the sun shone brightly, baking the deck that had been washed by the night's storm. Passengers awakened from the tempest of the previous night, now embarking on a new day of life aboard the ship. Okay, that's better. Bird!
It's a new Minako.
Oh! Suddenly, the leader among the seagulls issued a piercing cry, seemingly beckoning its companions to keep the peace when they cry. The surrounding seagulls, stirred by the urgency of their leader's call, swiftly converged, curious about the new discovery that prompted such an eager summons. seems that the original vessel was methodically disposing of its compressed scraps and remnants into the sea, attracting a multitude of fish that followed the enticing scent. This in turn allowed the seagulls to indulge in a lavish feast merely by following the ship's wake. The crescendo of their calls summoned an ever-increasing flock of seabirds. Even the passengers aboard the cruise were drawn to the scene, reminiscent of a landscape painting, eagerly taking out their cameras to capture the moment.
The circle of life.
Ooh! Amid the clamorous passengers and squabbling seabirds, the cruise ship's immense smokestacks languidly exhaled thin wisps of smoke that painted the skies bright and the ocean calm. Lyu Xuan recalled the teachings of her psychology professor on how to study turbulent emotions. Envision a safe, stable sanctuary in your mind. Limit yourself to 3 seconds. The ticking time bomb in front of you, your necrotic finger. The footsteps outside the door could at any moment be your escort to meet Jimmy. No one in the classroom knew that Jimmy was actually the teacher's favorite musician. However, his mention was followed by a laugh that sounded eerily like a howler monkey, sending the entire class into uproarious laughter.
Jimi Hendrix?
This... kinda get that vibe. This laughter now seemed to float above the cruise ship, mingling with the tendrils of smoke. Lyu Xuan felt her tension dissolve completely. He's a big fan of Jimmy Neutron.
Jimmy Neutron's music career.
Real.
Oh, those are hands in the bottom left.
Oh, yeah. Ooh. Lyu Xuan counted 3 seconds, and her vision, which had been missing for so long, finally returned home. She could see the familiar ceiling above her, but her body remained paralyzed, unable to move, not even her eyes. Suddenly, Lyu Xuan heard a distant sound. Lyu Xuan felt as if her ears had been pricked by needles, becoming abnormally sensitive. They picked up a ticking sound, growing closer and more rapid. Oh yeah, she's got... the front of her shirt is bloody as heck.
You know how it is with periods.
Oh, you know. Lyu Xuan tried to sniff. Well, actually, I don't...
Don't worry about it.
I was gonna say, I don't. I also have 2 sisters, so... Lyu Xuan tried to sniff, and her belated sense of smell, tinged with the scent of blood, instantly jolted her brain. This also made her desperately want to regain the last sense not under her control. Lyu Xuan furrowed her brow, straining to recover her sense of touch. Her efforts soon paid off. She felt herself propped against something soft, the sensation of sweat-soaked skin against her back. Then, struggling, Lyu Xuan managed to lift her right hand to touch her chest, feeling fabric soaked with some kind of liquid. By now, she almost understood her condition, but the scene she pictured hinted at imminent danger. She wanted to control her body, to at least be able to lower her head to survey her surroundings, but to no avail. Ooh. Vast ocean, the cruise liner, and once more sunlight made its appearance. Lyu Xuan inhaled deeply, the pungent, acrid smell of blood flooding his nostrils. Prompting every muscle
Okay, yeah, there can be some confusion about pronouns every now and then.
Prompting every muscle in her body to tense as if recoiling from the odor, but also made them easier for Lyu Xuan to command.
At least I'm assuming that's what's happening.
Right. Unless we're talking about Jimmy.
Maybe the real Jimmy was inside us all along. Oh, that's lots of blood.
Oh, yeah. Lyu Xuan turned her head to survey her surroundings, the living room of her home, dark because the lights were off. Despite the gloom, it was clear that the usually orderly furniture had been tossed about as if a typhoon had ripped through the area.
It looks cleaner than my room.
Same here, Promos. Same here. Lyu Xuan looked down and saw her white shirt violently torn open, stained with a red liquid that eerily resembled the gaping maw of a great white shark. Slipping her hand inside, she found her bra still in place, though its front clasp had been ripped apart. It was as if someone had used a sharp blade to viciously split her chest open, causing blood to splatter everywhere. Concerning.
Rude of them.
Yeah, yet her chest bore not a single scratch. Lyu Xuan momentarily set aside her doubts, pushed herself up from the couch, and immediately heard a thick, dripping sound behind her. She walked a few steps, then turned back to see a blood-red cascade draped over the sofa where she had just been seated. The most vivid stain was exactly where her back had rested.
如果有人从正面捅穿我的胸口，然后向下切开，那血迹就会变成现在这样。
Through my chest from the front. Head downward. Yeah. However, she felt no
She's
discomfort.
doing an autopsy on herself.
Yeah. However, she felt no discomfort whatsoever. In fact, she felt unusually strong, as if she could break the record for a 500-meter specialty obstacle course and maybe even toss a disagreeable superior 10 meters away with one hand, girl boss power. We'd love it. But now was not the time for such thoughts. Lyu Xuan noticed her close partner lying in front of the couch on the glass coffee table next to a spare magazine. She stepped forward and picked it up. Oh.
Our partner's a gun.
Oh, the silver handgun, named the Beethoven 1900, was developed in-house by the agency. It was the only gun she was permitted to carry off-duty. Fired 9mm rounds and held 8 in the magazine.
I know this game's already fully voiced, but can I voice the gun?
Absolutely.
Yay!
Lyu Xuan tilted the handgun, noting the safety was off. She promptly engaged it, ejected the magazine, and saw from the cutaway that 6 rounds remained. She couldn't recall having fired the gun recently. Her memories were mostly of concluding a 3-month-long mission yesterday and beginning her leave. After returning home, she had planned some rest, but then her recollections skipped to the present. It is Wednesday. That means it is time for women. Hello, Ed.
And this woman got stabbed in the chest, but she got better.
Real. She got better than better. She's ready to
She got a fancy new pattern on her blouse.
Yeah. She's channeling the power of the shark and is ready to throw some fools. She reinserted the magazine.
Red is the color of power.
Real.
Vitality. Children's hospitals.
She was bitten by a radioactive knife. She reinserted the magazine. As it clicked into place, a roll of thunder echoed from outside. Suddenly, a flash of lightning illuminated the room. Lyu Xuan widened her eyes, staring at her left palm. An oval-shaped black hole had appeared in the center, perfectly integrated with her skin, yet it disregarded the natural undulations of her muscles, remaining a smooth, flawless oval from every angle.
伤口还是什么东西贴在上面了？
Lyu Xuan decided to slowly bend her thumb to touch the mysterious oval. Oh, there it is. Whoa.
Gross.
Concerning. Suddenly a
Why
swarm
does
of
the hole look like a bug's?
Suddenly a swarm of tiny black monsters burst from a dark hole, writhing wildly in the palm of Lyu Xuan's hand. They climbed her fingers, reaching toward the base of her thumb and then circled back. That reminds me of the World of Horror mission where you have to stab Kana's eye. And it spawns,
Very unpleasant.
you have to stab Kana's eye and it spawns tons of little fucking bugs. Little worms everywhere. It's very concerning.
Oh no.
She slightly leaned back, yet her gaze remained locked, utterly captivated. The black monsters began to swirl around an oval center, evoking images of primitive cave paintings with simple lines depicting people engaged in eerie, ritualistic dances around a campfire. Lyu Xuan's curiosity far outweighed her puzzlement as she watched, mesmerized by the spectacle. As the chaotic dance of the black lines subsided, their movements became orderly. They bent and straightened, gradually taking shape into forms Lyu Xuan could recognize. Soon the monsters settled into static patterns, transforming into simple lines. Lyu Xuan slightly lowered her head, meticulously tracing the patterns that now adorned her hand. But
个、十、百、千、万、亿，这是一亿。
And how much is 100 million yuan in dollars?
Numbers that appeared in the center of her palm paused briefly before they rapidly trembled and retracted back into the dark oval. Lyu Xuan unconsciously licked her lips, only then realizing they were cracked and bleeding.
Okay, assuming that the currency is yuan, we have about $14 million.
Oh, golly. And I believe
So,
that...
Ed, how's the stonks game going?
Yeah, speaking... I bet you having a black hole with $14 million would help your stonks, Ed. I was gonna say, because this takes place in Hong Kong, right?
I have no idea. It takes place in the reigning city.
That is true. The island city of Stage.
Yuri railing, let's go!
Yes, let's go. Yuri rail reel.
Welcome to the Yuri Express.
However, before she could even divert her gaze from her palm, another clap of thunder resounded. Whoa? Lyu Xuan's eyes widened as she fixed her gaze on a shadow lurking beneath the shattered glass coffee table, then abruptly turned her head. Oh! Alright, we're getting into it. The shadow outside seemed to react to her stare, stirring to life. It bent forward, its jagged back rising ominously before it moved, and shattered the glass. Oh, hi! The sinister shape entered the room, its back scraping the ceiling. Lyu Xuan could see its skin, cracked like drought-ridden earth. Raindrops fell upon it, absorbed instantly, yet they were far from enough to moisten such a parched form. Along with this unusual figure, a horrendous stench invaded her home. It's a thick, putrid blend of rotting flesh and filth, so overpowering that Lyu Xuan could almost hear flies buzzing around as if holding a gathering. Yeah, thank you for the research.
Chris, I regret to inform you, I don't think that this is one of the love interests.
Yeah, I do not think this is... This too is Yuri. the rotting shadow tree. This is an Elden Ring.
I mean, I would, but I don't think that Lyu Xuan...
I don't think she's particularly inclined to at this very moment. We'll give it time, though. First off...
maybe she takes a shower.
Yeah. Down to business. Lyu Xuan imagined a cruise ship breaking through a filthy sea toward dawn. Oh! Blat blat!
Pew pew.
Yeah! As she raised her gun and flicked off the safety, she fired 2 shots. The unique melodious sound of the gunshots resonated like piano notes, soon followed by the thud of bullets launching into a thick tree trunk. This is Freya Fukunaga voicing the gun. It is the Beethoven 1900, so it is very fitting. The monster, resembling deadwood, slowed its steps momentarily before collapsing onto the ground. Its drooping white filaments slightly touched the ground before it suddenly sprang up, its slender limbs rapidly propelling it toward Lyu Xuan. The hissing sound of rainwater being absorbed by its skin slightly stirred Lyu Xuan's innate sense of fear, like the gentle flicker of a snake's tongue.
Pew pew pew.
As Lyu Xuan... One more. As Lyu Xuan backed away, she fired her last 4 bullets. Swiftly, she pulled a spare magazine from her pocket and reloaded. But just as she chambered a new round, the monster caught up with her and knocked her to the ground, a suffocating stench enveloping her. Struggling to flip herself
We're being Yukadoned.
Oh no! She found the beast's weight too much to manage, trapping her firmly. No!
What?
Concerning! The rumbling sound of the massive tree moving caused Lyu Xuan's head to ache. The dark deadwood monster split open its trunk, revealing a dark green diaphragm that writhed continuously. The previously limp white filaments now stood erect like dandelion stalks.
What?
Oh no! Trevor? Lyu Xuan felt the monster grab her right arm, pulling her toward the gaping split. Her mind screamed with alarms, a red flash of danger. Suddenly, a horror she had never felt in her 27 years surged over her like a flood, overwhelming her senses. Lyu Xuan's right arm shrank rapidly inside her sleeve, her pink skin turning to ash as her muscles were gruesomely exposed. Oh dear.
Oh god.
The smooth, orderly tissues contracted violently, resembling the limbs of a dead insect.
We're getting right into it, huh?
Oh dear. She screamed in horror as an unknown red substance seeped out from her sleeve, quickly absorbed by the dead wood. Oh! In seconds, only the white bones of her right arm remained. Meanwhile, the deadwood's withered limbs flourished maliciously, sprouting, pulsating black tissues like boiling mud. Reflexively, Lyu Xuan raised her left hand to grab at the branches of the deadwood, noticing the black lines in her palm dancing wildly once again. This time the number was missing. 1 digit. It had dropped by 2 million from the initial 1 billion. We are getting stick-bugged. We are getting aggressively stick-bugged.
Really are.
she had no time to consider what this meant, as every second was a luxury while the cruise ship teetered on the brink of this violent storm.
What's the captain doing? Pew 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 pew!
Once again, Lyu Xuan swung her left arm to retrieve the handgun that had dropped nearby. She swung it behind her back and rapidly fired 6 shots straight downward.
Pew pew!
Years of rigorous training had honed Lyu Xuan's muscles to precision, enabling her to fire her gun without a tremor, even in dire situations, each bullet striking nearly the same spot. After a series of sharp gunshots, one bullet finally pierced the body of the dead wood and lodged into the ceiling. This seemed to destabilize the monster, momentarily lifting its body and giving Lyu Xuan a chance to roll away to safety. Quickly, she pushed off the ground with one hand, leveraging her solid core strength to flip back onto her feet. Unstable Lyu Xuan immediately checked her right arm. It was unharmed. The terrifying sensation she had experienced in the vigorous black flesh on the monster was stark evidence that her arm had temporarily vanished.
It's okay, she got better.
Real. It cost her 2 million. Lyu Xuan switched her emptied handgun to her right hand and glanced again at her left palm, where the number now read 96 million. Oh! Gasping for
Guess
breath.
that's the price of health insurance, right?
Right. I suppose regrowing a whole arm would be pretty expensive. Gasping for breath, she temporarily set aside the scattering debris in her thoughts to concentrate on the monster before her. Deadwood seemed enamored with the burgeoning black muscles on its body, swaying as though appreciating a fine wine, clearly not yet satisfied and poised to attack Lyu Xuan again. As it bent forward, it abruptly twisted and froze, facing the window. Lyu Xuan glanced outside and noticed the rain was easing, soon to stop. Deadwood seized the moment, flipped over, and crawled out the window into the night. Holding her breath, Lyu Xuan tightened her grip on the handgun and slowly approached the window. She leaned against the wall and peeked outside. The underbrush in the villa area was disheveled and scattered, the trail leading off in the distance. Soon the rain stopped and the movement in the bushes ceased. This is why you don't leave your window open when you live on the ground floor.
Yeah.
Lyu Xuan kept keyed up, her eyes fixed on the silent darkness until even the foul stench had completely disappeared. Only then did she turn and lean against the wall.
要在下雨前查清楚是怎么回事。
Good idea. The storm had
Does
subsided.
something happen when it rains?
Right. The rain brings out some very concerning things. The storm had subsided, and feeling slightly more at ease, Lyu Xuan activated her phone's flashlight, hoping to uncover some clues in the living room that might explain the events during her memory gap. Did you know that harm in Triangle Agency starts with 1, enough harm to kill someone outright, and 2, outwardly described as worse than that? Oh dear.
Ooh!
2 and onwards are described as worse than that. Oh no. However, the recent scuffle had left only chaotic footprints on the floor, some resembling animal hooves or snake-like marks, likely just muddy stains left by an intruder who had entered during the rain. Realizing the urgency of the situation, she quickly pocketed her phone and headed into the bedroom. There were 2 wardrobes in the room. The left was filled with a variety of clothing reflecting recent fashion trends and several uniquely patterned and material canes at the bottom. Ooh, canes.
Huh.
The right, when opened, revealed an array of exclusively black garments resembling a bat cave in its stark uniformity. Lyu Xuan didn't hesitate. She approached the right wardrobe and selected a bra, a shirt, and a trench coat.
开枪和玻璃被打碎的声音，应该被人注意到了。现在先躲开警察，等他们走了再去保安室看监控录像，最好能找到我昏迷那段时间的线索。
As Lyu Xuan considered whether she should clean the blood-stained shirt and sofa cover, she pulled out a drawer from under the bed, took it out completely, and then retrieved a briefcase hidden underneath. The case held all the essentials for her work. She took 2 spare magazines from the case and stashed them in the inner pockets of her coat, then refilled the emptied magazines with the remaining bullets. It was all the ammunition she had left.
如果现在要收拾现场的痕迹，那肯定来不及在警察到之前走。先不管了。 还有手上这个莫名其妙冒出来的洞，和这些事情恐怕都有关联。现在先到白薇那儿去看看。
She is astoundingly calm about this.
Real? What has she seen in her line of work that's left her this level?
What does she work as?
Yeah. By way. The dressing table beside her bed was cluttered with cosmetics, some of which Lyu Xuan couldn't even recall the use for. Likely a side effect of being away on missions for too long. She worked at L Corp. Honestly, fair. But there was no time to sort through them now. She grabbed the car keys from the dressing table, picked up the briefcase, and made her way to the garage. Yeah, really, she... Yeah. Worked at L Corp, worked in retail. Equivalent, honestly. Stepping out of her
L Corp
room...
probably paid better.
Yeah, really, yeah, true. Very true. Lyu Xuan glanced at her phone to unlock it. Hello, Faceta. Face. I got stuck on a YouTube poop loop there.
Ah.
Hello, face. After her old phone had been destroyed during her previous mission, her colleagues had persuaded her to buy this trendy new model, which she was still getting used to. She mainly typed in Bai Wei's number and pressed call, contemplating the years it would take to rebuild her emptied contact list. Exactly 2:20 a.m., she was about to hang up, not wanting to disturb Bai Wei's sleep, but he picked up the phone just in time. Oh. Bai Wei sounded energized, clearly not just woken up from sleep.
昨天刚回来，电话里先不说那些。你今天值晚班？
对，怎么了？他们没把你治好就丢回来了吗？
That fixing you up?
我没事，没受伤。
Bai Wei's
No
awkward...
injuries anymore, at least.
Yeah, real. A few oddities, but, you know. Bai Wei's awkward concern helped blur the lingering fear inside Lyu Xuan, replacing it gradually with a sense of
我有
security.
事要找你，诊所忙吗？
不忙，快来吧。
好。
Lyu Xuan ended the call, pressed the garage door opener, and waited as the roll-up door began to rise, detecting a strange smell. The foul odor left by the monster was now more annoying as her adrenaline had subsided. She planned to grab the citrus-scented roll-on perfume from her car's storage box once inside. Just a quick shake and application on her wrists and behind her ears would allow the fragrance to rapidly evaporate with her body heat. As the garage door fully opened, Lyu Xuan eagerly stepped into her black electric car, ready to drive through the quiet streets of the night. Ooh. The midnight road, only Lyu Xuan's car waited at the traffic light. She took the chance to reach into the compartment and pull out a bottle of perfume. The cylindrical bottle was frosted glass, very pretty. For some reason she couldn't recall what brand it was, and no lettering on the bottle offered her an answer.
Okay, that sounds normal.
Yeah. Must have been on the box. She didn't think much of it. The bottle was nearly empty, and she was indeed in the habit of wearing perfume. Popped open the cap, letting the roller ball glide across her wrist and neck. At once the fragrance of rosemary mixed with lemon, neroli, and rose began to spread. That feels more like essential oil kind of thing. With it, the cruise ship in her mind finally reappeared, sailing once more across a calm sea. The sight filled Lyu Xuan with a composed serenity. Just watch out for Jimmy. Just as the light turned green, she pressed the accelerator and continued toward the clinic. Hello, Clever. This background reeks of we're going to put something scary in the rearview mirror at some point along the line.
Far too scary by far, I'm scared.
Yeah. Chat talking about L Corp. Yeah. She disliked the thought of dragging Dr. Bai Wei into this inexplicable matter, yet given her present predicament... Ooh. Actually, since I'm do you want to voice her thoughts?
Oh, alright. This was something I had to do, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, hello. Oh.
It's an open world!
Holy crap. Sell.
Cat!
Oh no, where's the cat? Oh no, quick, save.
In the
save.
cell background!
Sell. Cat. Yeah.
Oh,
Who's in my contacts here? Me? My earliest memory.
what's this game about? We have a hole in our hand.
Yeah, and there are monsters. My earliest memories of a room in the orphanage, its walls adorned with wallpaper depicting blue skies, white clouds. There I felt enveloped in warmth and love as I grew. When I was 14, an agency seeking children with straightforward backgrounds approached the orphanage, and I was chosen. My surname had even been given by one of the orphanage's benefactors. Somehow I felt like it was my destiny to take on this job. The details were still unclear to me. Without much reluctance, I decided to leave the orphanage and follow the agency, a path that has led me to where I am today. Oh, it's Chaldy.
So she's a pretty normal lady besides her job?
Seems like it.
Oh my god, our phone's at 6G.
Oh my god. Anonymous contact. Unsaved numbers is unknown, can also do the same for some known ones. Anonymized contact whose identity must remain concealed. Now find myself in dire need of its assistance. Local public account in Egret City. SMS. Breaking! Middle night gunshots. In the early hours today, residents of a local neighborhood reported what sounded like gunfire echoing through the night. Police responded immediately and confirmed the noise came from a residential gas pipeline malfunction.
They always say it's a gas leak.
Gosh, hashtag Holy Grail War. The issue has since been contained. The situation is now back to normal. Thank you. Unknown contact. We cannot text you. Nouns. I know 0 nouns. The hole.
Someday we'll be literate.
True. Vanquish the hole. Okay. So it keeps a pretty good track of. Alright.
Yeah.
Moon is bright tonight. I need to restart my journal. Now again, we deal with monsters, but you're the gas repair technician. you deal with monsters, but you are just doing the cover stories. Hope everyone is well. Hope everyone is well. Hope you are well too. Dilsham Recruiter 5 years ago. Yeah, so we got attacked. We got bloodstains on our sofa. We got a black hole in our palm. We've got attacked by a creepy wood monster. There's a real gas leak. That's the plot twist. Beautiful. Okay, by way. Oh, wow. World map.
Yeah, it looks like it is an island, so maybe based on Hong Kong? No, there are a lot of islands in China.
Yeah. Photo?
Oh.
Oh. Oh, hello. Lyu Xuan drove out of the garage and turned right. Her headlights swept across a half-moon of pavement, missing the figure crouched in the flower bed across the street. The figure waited until her taillights vanished around the corner before standing, raising a camera and snapping shots through the floor-to-ceiling windows of the chaos inside Lyu Xuan's home. What the? What was that thing that just broke in? And she actually drove it off? Definitely worth following. Shutter clicked again. This time the camera's display showed a white blur flashing into Lyu Xuan's home. What the? Oh, she lowered the camera. Nothing. Every time she caught only those fleeting, shadowy shapes, it meant one thing. Time to run. Good.
Hit the brakes. We will simply not worry about it.
Smart decision. Alright. Byway private clinic. Consulting room.
Yeah, let's go see the doc.
Doc! Lyu Xuan pushed open the frosted glass doors of the clinic and immediately spotted Byway with his back to her, meticulously arranging medical supplies on a metal rack beside the hospital bed. Unsure of what injury she might have, he had prepared a variety of medications and a large stack of white bandages.
哪儿受伤了？躺下来吧。
Lyu Xuan waved her hand to indicate she was really fine, but Byway looked her over skeptically. After a thorough check, he finally felt reassured enough to remove his sterile gloves and settled back into his swivel chair.
那这还是你第一次凌晨赶来诊所，身上却没带着几个冒血的窟窿。
Invisible bullet. Oh,
这次任务虽然时间长，
Well, we have a different
但不危
hole.
险。
yeah.
One that we don't normally have.
A very unusual hole. I don't think you can just stitch this one up.
Yeah, I don't think this hole was made for us.
Yeah. Lyu Xuan responded, walking over the window and pulling back the curtain to ensure that the dark sky was not beginning to
不过
rain.
你要说窟窿的话，
Lyu Xuan removed her glove to show Bai Wei the unusual condition on the palm of her hand. Small thing warning. Uh-oh, okay.
Oh, they're not crawling this time.
The small things are not crawling this time. Bai Wei, now 47, had previously studied in Canada and worked there as a surgeon during the time of frequent large-scale protests and riots. Renowned as an outstanding orthopedic specialist, it was routine for him to perform 5 surgeries a day due to the heavy caseload during those tumultuous times. After the situation had stabilized, 7 years had swiftly passed. Eventually, Bai Wei decided to return to his home country, his wife, and open a private clinic. She still operates today. Over the years, Bai Wei had seen numerous cases of physical trauma, becoming somewhat desensitized to them. However, the black oval on Lyu Xuan's palm was disturbingly unusual, causing his hair to stand on end.
会痛吧？现在是什么感觉？
Bai Wei grasped Lyu Xuan's wrist, leaning in closely to inspect for any signs of the black ellipse. Tearing through her palm, but he could discern nothing.
先去拍个 X 光，然后告诉我发生了什么。
Lyu Xuan nodded, double-checked that it wasn't raining outside, and then followed Bai Wei out of the examination room. As they walked, she began to explain the chaotic scene at her home and her encounter with the Deadwood monster.
And then I shot it 10 times.
Oh. 10. On the other side of the city, several police cars had pulled up in front of Lyu Xuan's house, their red and blue intertwined lights constantly swirling and scanning the darkened driveway. Residents were poking their heads around the windows in their robes. Apparently, the sleepiness of the early morning hours hadn't dampened their excitement to get together at all. The officers from the criminal room were talking and laughing, seemingly having only arrived not long ago and making preparations before forensics. I tried to peek and got myself stuck in the mountain. Oh no! However, the leading captain took a phone call and began to greet all the officers present as they closed up. The incident, which took place in the center of the city, and in which the caller claimed to have heard gunshots, came to an abrupt end, and there was no more official investigation. Ah! With the sound of distant sirens, the rain fell again. Oh no! After sharing her harrowing ordeal, Lyu Xuan knew Bai Wei would need some time to digest it all. She leaned against the clinic's window, making a call on a basic phone to her boss, since the police had visited her home. Loud noises from her confrontation with the Deadwood monster had undoubtedly alarmed the property management. Like it decided the best course of action was to check the situation and then call the police. Not the HOA. The agency usually facilitated smooth interactions with other official bodies, but also encouraged its members to avoid unnecessary complications with external organizations, considering both personal relations and the agency's unique nature. Therefore, Lyu Xuan braced for a reprimand, but was surprised when her boss didn't even ask her to file a report. Instead, he simply acknowledged the situation and said it would be handled. He also mentioned that there was a significant issue with the agency's records, and no new missions would be forthcoming soon. That's concerning.
So we get a break, right? That's what it means?
That's totally what it means. Lyu Xuan ended the call with some confusion, but since she wasn't a clerical worker at the agency, she didn't need to worry about the archival issues. Meanwhile, Bai Wei was examining the X-ray films of both hands, which she had clipped onto a light box. Totally not we are now the subject of some strange experiment. The images of her left hand clearly showed an oval obscuring the X-ray, appearing as a stark, dark spot.
恐怕需要再做别的检查，但我也不敢刺激这个东西，很难办。
Differential diagnosis, people. I prescribe mouse bites. Lyu Xuan nodded, pondering her next steps if she couldn't find help
除了
here.
我之外，还有人经历过同样的事吗？
我有个皮肤科的朋友，见多识广，我会去问问。
He needs mouse bites
Did
to
they really
live!
teach that at dermatology school?
这段时间你别乱跑，待在路程等消息。
谢了，老白。
He needs mouse bites to live.
你所信。
Yeah.
More specifically, Dr. Bai needs to administer mouse bites if he wants to live.
Yes,
It's for him.
to protect him from the driftwood. Lyu Xuan sat across from Bai Wei and immediately noticed his lips twitching unnaturally, a sign of his nervousness from her past encounters with him.
精神科的事我不了解，只能简单问你几句。
It's like the doctors that end up dealing with the people like John Wick.
我精神科，
你说的话我都相信，但是
But Bai Wei leaned forward, clasping his hands tightly.
你刚才提到的枯木，那显然是一种很奇怪的生物，那种体型很难在城市里隐蔽行踪，以及你的手臂和它突然长出来的肌肉，我也无法理解。在此之前，你从没见过这种东西吧？
没有，我是第一次碰到。
我知道，你这行的人面对突发情况有办法保持冷静，但这次跟以前可没法比。绿雪，你明白吗？这已经不是心理素质的问题了。你现在给我的感觉不太对劲。
It's no longer just a matter of mental resilience. Your SP is dropping. Lyu Xuan nodded, recognizing Bai Wei's
但现在
concerns.
能保持冷静，算是救了我自己一命。所以这件事先，
Uh-oh. As Lyu Xuan heard rapid raindrops striking the awning, a hissing sound quickly followed, culminating in a deafening crash of shattering
老
glass.
白，
Oh, hello.
先出去。
Oh, geez.
This is worse. She kicked Bai Wei's swivel chair out of the way and bent down to draw her handgun. As she disengaged the safety, she opened fire on the deadwood monster that had burst into the clinic. Oh, that's Henry, yeah. Bullets hit it, but it twisted and writhed, pulling itself completely into the cramped clinic, while a foul stench filled the air. Bai Wei, pushed to the doorway by the momentum of the chair, opened the door and dashed into the clinic's lobby to begin evacuating the night shift staff. In the bright light of the clinic, Lyu Xuan could finally see the monster cleanly. Less a monster of deadwood and more a black, withered skeleton, uneven and gaunt.
I need to parry this thing in Dark Souls.
You're right! Now lacking muscles, nerves, and organs, all of which it seemed to want from Lyu Xuan.
Pew, 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 pew.
Lyu Xuan fired off her remaining 4 bullets without hesitation, quickly swapping the empty magazine for a full one she had ready. Prepare for another round. The monster seemed overwhelmed by the onslaught. Oh no, it's distorted, yes.
Oh, God.
Crashed. Its black muscular parts flinging a large medicine cabinet towards Lyu Xuan. The heavy metal cabinet, mixed with shards of glass, hurtled toward her. Oh dear. Forced to cease fire, she dodged the cabinet, but a flying medicine jar almost tripped her, causing her to stagger. This would be a QTE. Taking advantage of her momentary imbalance, the deadwood monster leapt towards Lyu Xuan, charging directly at her. The impact hit Lyu Xuan hard in the chest, sending her flying out of the clinic like a stunt actor on wire. Holy shit. Jesus.
Oh, jeez.
She tumbled to the ground, quickly regaining her footing and sprinting toward a nearby storage room. As she ran, she noticed several gashes across her chest where the monster's branches had struck her, with blood slowly seeping out. Yeah, this is an abnormality right here.
It sure is.
Glancing back to make sure the deadwood monster hadn't followed, she checked the palm of her left hand. Thankfully, there were no wildly dancing numbers this time. The monster, typically aggressive, hesitated and moved cautiously, coiled its body and crept slowly into the storage room, its head-like structure swaying unnervingly. Lyu Xuan contemplated attacking the clump of black muscle again, hoping it might be more effective. She suddenly noticed something odd about the monster.
不对，他没看着我。
The deadwood wasn't
It
alert
has eyes?
to her gun. Ooh. Instead, its curled body was aimed slightly to the right of her. Angle of the head, perhaps? Keeping her gun aimed at the deadwood. Lyu Xuan quickly glanced to her right. From the shadows, a monster that was almost but not quite human. Oh, we get an achievement for that.
Oh, this one's a cutie.
It's dangerous to go alone. Take Paleon. Monster that was almost but not quite human approached her. It had a face eerily similar to a human's, and from her angle, it seemed to be smiling. Monster swung a thick tail nearly a meter long, its body covered in pale, fine hair and sported long grained hair, gray hair looking almost human. Over its lower half had the bent legs typical of feline animals. These have creepy...
She's part cat!
I love her. I love her already. The creature designs we super resonate with. Yeah, these are real good. These are real good.
Yeah.
Lyu Xuan slowly backed away with the pale monster sped up its crawl toward her, clearly targeting her. Compared to the terrifying appearance of the deadwood monster, Lyu Xuan felt a strange fondness for this white being. It looks somewhat cute. She's right.
Moe.
That thought lasted only a moment. Oh! The pale monster turned its face, devoid of eyes, toward the ground and then opened its mouth, a vast maw that occupied half of its head, filled with blade-like fangs. Still cute.
Well, I did not expect this.
Still cute. Lyu Xuan screamed.
Don, what do you think? Would you still...
I trust her.
Fair enough.
The monster lifted its left hand, revealing a crack that stretched from the base of its thumb across the wrist. Suddenly, the crack widened, exposing a rugged black interior from which a dark red tongue emerged. Shaking, Lyu Xuan also turned her left hand. The black oval remained unchanged, but the connection between her and the monster was unmistakable. The monster then turned its attention to the wounds on Lyu Xuan's chest, bent forward and began crawling toward her on all fours.
别过来，不许动，否则我要开枪了。
Lyu Xuan warned, perhaps unnerved by the monster's disturbingly human-like appearance. However, it ignored her warning and accelerated its pace. Before Lyu Xuan could raise her gun, the monster had already lunged into her See? Now on the ground.
More like a big dog giving a hug.
Yeah. Now on the ground, the monster's head opened wider and its thicker, more agile tongue licked at Lyu Xuan's bleeding wounds. Running along the surface of the tongue were black lines, identical to those in the palm of her left hand. Lyu Xuan threw her head back, her teeth chattering as she gripped the gun tightly, her fingernails dripping, digging painfully into her skin. Deadwood monster, seemingly unable to restrain itself any longer, suspected that the pale intruder was there to steal its prey. However, with the chance to restore
Everybody
its
wants
own
me.
body, with the chance to restore its own body so close, it wasn't about to relinquish its opportunity. It spent too much time in the sewers, subsisting on filthy water. The
Oh,
pale-
that's why it smells.
That makes sense, yeah. The pale monster acted first. Organs on either side of its head suddenly opened, and the next instant it darted beneath the dead wood. What happened next was something Lyu Xuan could never have imagined. Crunch! Accompanied by the sounds of cracking wood. Accompanied by the sounds of cracking wood chips and the heavy tearing of bark, the pale monster began to feed. Its massive mouth poised on the top, positioned atop its head, tore open the deadwood's body and started to devour it. To Lyu Xuan, the deadwood seemed to crumble like just chocolate wafers, scattering fragments as it was consumed by the pale monster's head. Deadwood thrashed wildly, cracking the walls of the warehouse and leaving dark scratches where signs hung. Meanwhile, the small predator used its strong tail to stabilize itself, treating the deadwood's resistance as if it were merely the swaying of a revolving restaurant, and continued to gorge on itself. Its left hand even reached directly into the horrific crack in the deadwood that had been feeding on Lyu Xuan's arm, extracting soft tissues to stuff into its gaping maw.
This does not put me in the mood for revolving sushi, actually.
Lyu Xuan stood up, slowly, leaning against the wall corner. Debris scattered around her, and black fluid of the deadwood's shattered body pooled at her feet. She gripped her handgun, unsure of what to do next. All the knowledge and skills she had seemed useless against this surreal scene. The small weapon in her hand was her only support. If the pale monster turned its appetite toward her, next, would the handgun really be effective? Her mind briefly conjured a terrifying scenario. An earthquake struck the sea where the cruise ship sailed. Massive waves swiftly rose and morphed into the shape of the pale monster, effortlessly slicing the cruise ship in half. 3 seconds later, Lyu Xuan was jolted back to reality. The deadwood monster had vanished, leaving only fragments and a pool of black liquid on the ground. The scene before her was more eerie than anything she could have imagined. The predator lay on the ground, its face resembling a human's, pressed against the earth, while its mouth on top of its head slowly swept up the remaining debris with its tongue. Hasty! Lyu Xuan aimed her gun at it, calculating where to shoot to maximize the likelihood of a hit. Contentedly, the pale monster stood up, its agile tongue licking around its mouth before closing its head. It then began to crawl towards Lyu Xuan once more. Oh no! Lyu Xuan felt her hand holding the gun tremble slightly and her vision blur. She knew her body was fine. It was her nerves getting the better of her. She had faced the deadwood monster without flinching, so why did this seemingly more benign, pale monster unsettle her so much?
Because she's too pretty.
True. The monster paused in front of Lyu Xuan, paced around her like a dog, and then settled down at her feet, folded in the appendages it had previously extended, now seeming completely relaxed. Lyu Xuan rotated the gun toward its head. As Lyu Xuan considered whether she could have handled the deadwood monster alone had this pale monster not appeared, she questioned its intentions. Was it hostile? Would she ignore the resemblances it bore to her? Oh.
Huh?
She answered these doubts with a resolute no, then secured the safety on her handgun and tucked it into her coat. Carefully she bent down and reached out to touch the pale monster's fur. Give her pets. And when she made contact,
That's a good girl.
she felt the warmth of a living being and the rhythmic thumping of its heartbeat. A familiar, comforting sensation that slightly narrowed the distance between them. Gradually, Lyu Xuan placed her hand on the monster. In response, its thick tail rose quietly, pressing against her back to support her weight and curling at a comforting angle to allow her to sit and rest. The seemingly friendly monster extended its neck and turned its head to gently touch Lyu Xuan's cheek. Let her purr. The hard ridges around its massive mouth scraped uncomfortably against her skin, but she dared not move abruptly, choosing instead to reluctantly appreciate this dangerous act of kindness. Gosh, I hope she purrs.
Me too.
Do you still dream about that ship? Come and find me through the door of the dead. Ooh, opening?
Opening.
Oh yeah. Lyrics, oh.
Smoke the pain, admitting the hope. Igniting the hope.
No, don't ignite the hope. I don't think hope would appreciate being ignited.
I don't know, Hope plays a lot of Monster Hunter.
That is true. Yeah, I think Hope would appreciate these monsters, though. A black hole that floods out billions. A beautiful and dangerous monster girl. An undemonstrative protagonist. Explore the world of paradoxes. Reveal the secrets.
How many tree monsters are there?
Oh, I see eyeball.
These are eyeballs.
Oh, big flying thing. Hell yeah. Well, that's an eyeball in your hand.
Oh god.
Ooh, mysterious. Hey. That's our girl.
Girl, let that tongue do.
Su Lingxi. Wang Yijun. White-Eye Devotee.
You'll never guess which one I prefer.
Liu Wensu. Ooh. Unbridled.
Unprecedented wealth.
In the heart of the sea. And El Corazon del Mar. Curious.
The joke is that one of the girls has glasses.
The cruise ship decomposed, made its way toward the sea, propelled by waves, flecked with milky foam, heading toward Logostock. Despite
That's a
having
lucky name.
Decompose, concerning. Despite having a new travel companion, Lyu Xuan's nerves were not calmed. He was anxious about the unpredictable currents and worried they might not reach their destination, feeling powerless over the ship's course. But what about Jimmy? Meanwhile, her companion seemed relaxed and at ease. She invited Lyu Xuan to the balcony to enjoy the endless expanse of the sea and sky while sampling some freshly brewed red tea. The sea breeze mingled with the stem from the tea. Stem from the tea? Steam from the tea! Wafting its rich aroma to Lyu Xuan, which momentarily soothed her. Lyu Xuan took a sip of her tea, pushing her concerns to the back of her mind. Staring out at the ocean, she reassured herself that the cruise ship would ultimately reach its destination. It didn't really matter. That wasn't Logostock. Mattered was that the journey continued. Come take a seat over here, her companion called out. Lyu Xuan nodded and walked over to sit, but suddenly lost her balance and fell backwards.
Is this companion also the gun?
Yes. I vote yes. Startled from her dreams by a sudden twitch, Lyu Xuan found herself lying in her familiar bed, her gaze locked onto the well-known ceiling above. Nestled beside her was a small creature, its body cloaked in milky white fur. It lay curled up, utterly still, save for the gentle parting of the great mouth atop its head.
It would be cute if she panted like a dog.
Yeah! Since it lacked eyelids, unlike most animals, Lyu Xuan was unsure how to tell if it was still dreaming. He thought about calling its name to see if it would respond. As she sat up on the edge of the bed, remembered how Bai Wei had paused for a long time when filling out the name on the blood test form for the creature.
我还是第一次给别的东西取名字。
I've never had to name another being before.
Given her social media handle was merely her student ID, the act of naming felt daunting. The creature did not respond.
Your internet safety!
If the creature did not respond or seemed upset, she doubted her ability to devise a more suitable name.
小白
Paleon. Oh, Paleon suddenly lifted its head, its large mouth trembling as it opened in a languid stretch, its tongue stretched taut.
It's yawning.
Oh. After closing its mouth, Paleon climbed onto Lyu Xuan, licking the bandages on her arm. Needing to show more affection, it then nestled its cheek against hers, much as it had hours before.
好
Oh.
像很喜欢这样。
Relieved, Lyu Xuan.
Okay, I just checked what Paleon's name is in the original Chinese.
Oh.
It is Little White, which is something you would name a tiny white dog.
Oh. It's adorable.
It's like we named her Snowball.
Oh. Honestly, I love it.
Yeah.
Relieved, Lyu Xuan sighed and gently pushed Paleon away before rising from the bed. Picked up her phone for the nightstand. It was just past
从我
9.
回来的时候，物业没找我多问，是觉得我已经在
Property
警察那里
management
做
didn't
笔
ask
录了
questions
吧
last night. They must know I've already spoken to the police.
With this thought, Lyu Xuan headed toward the living room. Suddenly, she noticed a foul smell from her clothes and realized the stronger scent was coming from Paleon following behind her. Lyu Xuan guessed that the mysterious creature made of withered wood might have transferred the foul odor to them. Regardless, having such a smell permeate her home was distressing. Give her a bath. Instinctively, she turned her head to avoid the scent and to see a bottle of perfume on the bedside table, identical to the one in her car.
随便涂点应付一下吧。
Something
A
to,
little dabble, yeah. I'll just dab on a little and call it done.
There's something to this perfume. Lyu Xuan walked over, picked it up. This one had a bit more left than the one in the car, though it was nearly finished as well. Oh, she applied it in the familiar way. A few strokes here and there, the well-known fragrance steadied her once again, and with it came the certainty that there was something she had to do.
要再拿一瓶出来了，剩下的我放在哪儿了？
Time to take out another bottle. Where did I put the rest?
Good question.
Worried about her.
Very much. She bent down to coax Paleon into the bathroom. It unexpectedly leapt into her arms. Uppies! Holding her breath, Lyu Xuan scooped up the light creature, cradling it in one arm as they headed for the bathroom. Paleon wants uppies. My couch is still a mess. With a shaky thumb, she unlocked her phone. It was nearly 11 o'clock. She spent nearly an hour drying Paleon's fur with a hair dryer. Oh, they did too!
She's taking such good care of her first pet.
This has become a pet ownership game. I love it. Spent nearly an hour drying Paleon's fur with a hair dryer.
要去买个大型犬用的吹
We
风
can't
机
date
了。
any girl who doesn't get along with Paleon.
Real.
You might need a dryer suitable for large dogs.
With its human-like face and soft fur, and without showing any signs of aggression or opening its large mouth, Paleon elicited feelings in Lyu Xuan that lay somewhere between a beloved pet and a dear friend. Paleon appeared quite satisfied with Lyu Xuan's cleaning efforts, hopping around while opening the large mouth on its head. This sight tightened Lyu Xuan's chest, prompting her to push aside her fleeting affection. Paleon was no ordinary creature. It was a far cry from the comforting companionship of a household pet, a truth she dared not forget. Yep, so we...
I want to teach Paleon fetch.
Yeah! True. So we woke
Clever,
up.
we have no idea.
Yeah, we are learning along with you. So far, we've woken up in the middle of the night with covered in blood and a hole in our hand that gave us 1 billion yuan.
We're not too upset about it.
Right. We got attacked by a creepy driftwood monster, fought it off, went to the clinic to get help, got attacked again, and then met our new pet. Turning her head away, Lyu Xuan chose not to look at Palion's uneven giant teeth or its disturbingly nimble tongue anymore. She needed a moment to sit down and think through her plans for the day. The living room was in chaos, offering nowhere to comfortably settle. It seemed her first step would have to be calling the property management to repair the damage to her home.
把小白藏到老白那边，还是
Should I hide
Oh.
Paleon at Bai's place or...
She's about to sit on the sofa to sort out the situation.
这一连串的怪事都集中在一个夜晚，这肯定和我在沙发上苏醒前的遭遇以及手心的洞有关。
Oh, good.
那
We
接
get to
下来
review.
应该去找家门口和物业小区里的监控，看夜晚的
Next, I should examine the surveillance footage from the cameras at the entrance to my home and throughout the community, reviewing what they captured during the night. See if the neighbors are going to get mad at me.
考虑还有可能碰上类似的情况。
Additionally, I'm almost out of bullets. Considering the likelihood of similar events, I need to replenish my stock from the Night City.
I need guns.
接着
Lots of guns.
就是等老白那里出报告吧。估计
Finally,
还没
I'll
有什么直接
await
的线
Bai's
索
report.
但是小
Although it
白
might
出现
not
的时机
reveal
恰到
much,
好处
Paleon's timely
和这些
appearance
心里
seems
都不该干涉
intricately linked to these occurrences.
As Lyu Xuan pondered these plans, Paleon curled up comfortably at her feet, its soft belly and fur brushing against her, soothing her
如果
thoughts.
走投无路，那不管对小
Oh,
白做
she's
什
got
么
a soft
都要找到解决
belly.
问题的办法。
Yeah, I'm left with no other choice than I must do whatever it takes with Paleon to solve this problem.
Lyu Xuan bent down and smoothed Paleon's fur a few times, preparing to take it to Bai Wei's clinic to await the results. In the meantime, she planned to have the property management come to clean and replace the broken glass.
叫物业来之前，先把带血的东西拿出去扔掉吧。
Ah, yeah, probably a good idea.
Yeah, I should get rid of anything bloodstained before calling property management.
As Lyu Xuan pondered where to dispose of the sofa cover and her shirt, Paleon suddenly arched its back, staring intently toward the front door. Oh? Trusting Paleon's keen senses, Lyu Xuan immediately grabbed her handgun and readied herself, but after several tense seconds, nothing happened. Brown tiptoed and moved silently toward the door. Who's that at the door? It's...
A
child.
cute girl.
Oh. Beside the front door, an electronic display showed the cold-toned world seen through the surveillance camera. A little girl stood outside, looking around anxiously, blinking rapidly and occasionally licking her lips. After a moment, she seemed to make up her mind and raised her hand to press the doorbell. Lyu Xuan ignored the chiming sound, her eyes fixated on the screen, trying to determine if the girl was carrying any weapons. Lyu Xuan is some indeterminate form of secret agent, yeah.
She does things for an agency.
Indeed, that is all we've been told so far.
Also, she's normal.
She is very normal. Yeah, that is all we've been told so far, and that she was just away for 3 months on her last assignment.
Yeah, she just finished up.
Yeah, she came home and now this happened to her.
She was an orphan with a completely generic background.
Real. And then got recruited into the indeterminate organization, and the girl receiving no response pressed the doorbell
好像没
again.
拿什么东西，但也可能藏在衣服里，而且监视器的角度也看不清旁边还有没有人藏着。
Fair. The door still unopened, the girl's blink rate unnaturally increased. She began biting her lower lip while her right leg started to shake. She's scared.
Oh.
She looked as if she might cry soon, her eyebrows furrowed and her lips tightly pursed.
再观察一下吧。
Mean to her.
Mean to her.
The girl looked up, peering through the door's peephole, seemingly oblivious to the surveillance camera positioned above her.
你好，吕小姐，我的名字叫玄龟，
Oh,
Baby!
she's so small.
Baby!
能开
Oh.
选什么？算了，他怎么知道我的名字？
It's not difficult to find someone's information these days, but the fact that she went out of her way to do so was cause for suspicion. Moreover, her conviction that Lyu Xuan was definitely home suggested a clear purpose for her visit. The girl's nervousness increased as she glanced around and leaned closer to the door, lowering her voice as if confiding in the door handle itself.
你放心开门吧，我是普通人类。
Very human.
That does sound like a thing a human would say.
Indeed. Her words, delivered with a confident smile, only made Lyu Xuan more cautious, an understandable reaction. To the girl, this appeared to be her trump card, yet it failed to have the desired effect. She lifted her head, her neck retracting slightly as she continued.
是老板让我来找你的，他说想和你做生意，还让我带了个礼物来。
You got child labor here?
Oh no! As the girl reached into her pocket, Lyu Xuan instinctively disengaged the safety on her handgun. No! Boss, no! Boss, no! Don't kill the child!
I won't hesitate.
The girl then pulled out a coin and held it to the peephole. At the moment, Paleon's wing-like appendages flared out, and it watched the door with increased vigilance. Uh-oh. Clearly, this was no ordinary coin. Lyu Xuan pressed against the wall, cautious of the coin potentially being propelled through the peephole. However, contrary to her feelers, the girl simply retracted the coin and began to mutter to herself in frustration.
怎么会这样？应该在家呀。
Oh. Her voice
She
grew
sounds like she's gonna cry.
Oh yeah. Oh no.
No!
Her voice grew softer as she spoke, and tears threatened to overflow. You will be swayed by the child. Lyu Xuan glanced over to see Paleon folding its wing-like appendages and lying back down on the carpet.
他看上去没什么危险，而且明显对这怪物有了解。好吧。
Vampire rules.
She
All the way in.
seems harmless, and she obviously knows something about this creature. Okay.
Oh no, they put money in and you take it, that's paying rent. Inviting her in. With her gun hand hidden behind her.
Keeper's cassette beast.
Oh no. With her gun hand hidden behind her, Lyu Xuan used her left hand to unlock the smaller door with the larger security gate, looking down through the sturdy steel mesh at the young girl who introduced herself as Jasper.
你好，我是玄龟。
你是来
The little bunny rabbit shirt.
Oh. Let's go with those neat. Definitely want to see more in the future. Take care. Take care. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, thank you.
那是什么？
Jasper suddenly pressed up against the mesh, her hands gripping the gaps, causing Lyu Xuan to almost draw her gun and press it against the girl's forehead. Oh no! Over the excitement and joy overflowing from Jasper's face halted her. Boss, no!
As a reminder, Lyu Xuan is normal.
而且好像人，会说话吗？
Not to our knowledge.
不，
Jasper is also having a normal reaction to a human pet.
不适合直立行
Real.
走，那它身体上和人类相似的部分，肯定是有什么特殊原因的。
Jasper, you are very knowledgeable.
头顶像是能打开的构造啊！难道大脑会露出来吗？还是大脑在别的地方？
Jasper, you are concerningly knowledgeable. Jasper's demeanor was like that of a schoolchild visiting a zoo, except the words she uttered carried mixed feelings for Lyu Xuan. Let's do the conversation back on track.
你刚才说替老板来见我，
Hearing Lyu Xuan's question, Jasper quickly regained her composure and stood up straight.
我能先进去吗？在门口说这些东西，怕被路过的人当成傻子。
Aww.
Lyu
I
Xuan.
wanna look like a silly girl.
Yeah. Lyu Xuan nodded, closed the smaller gate, and then struggled briefly with the main security door, still adjusting to the new lock that the property management had installed the previous night after the old one was tampered with. As soon as a sliver of light appeared through the opening, Jasper quickly squeezed through into the entryway. Excuse me? As Jasper stepped inside, she immediately noticed the electronic screen on the wall.
有机会
We didn't clean up the blood
我还
yet.
傻傻地往脸一直晃。
I was foolishly waving at the peephole, huh? Lyu Xuan stepped back to make room for Jasper, keeping her handgun discreetly behind her. Jasper rubbed her heels
Chinese.
together. Indeed. slipped off her shoes and neatly arranged them with a few taps of her foot. Then she dashed into the living room and made her way to Palian. Knelt on the floor, continuously stroking Palian's back and neck as though she were petting a dog.
你以前有见过他？
We got attached to this thing really easily.
Real.
没有，我第一次看到长这样的。不过吕小姐是想问我为什么不怕他吧？
A little bit. Lyu Xuan nodded. He judged that Jasper was likely still a primary school student, given the childishness in her actions. Yet her vocabulary seemed unusually mature for her
虽然
age.
体态是人形的，大多很危险，但是连脸部都很像人类的话，反而安全得多，能交流的可能性也很高。
Cool.
Jasper stretched her neck to get a closer look at the large mouth atop Palian's head, curiously probing its seams. Don't do that.
而且他能跟你相处的话，说明对人类也有一定认知，没问题的。
Oh, hello.
我对这些东西没那么了解，把你的来意和所谓老板都说清楚吧。
She looks very stressed.
差点忘了正
She
事。
always looks very stressed.
This is true. Jasper reached into her pocket and pulled out the same coin she had shown at the door, capturing Palian's
这
attention.
是老板送给你的东西。
Lyu Xuan walked over to Jasper to take the coin, and Palian followed closely, standing on its hind legs and resting its paws on Lyu Xuan's arm, bringing its face close to the coin as if to examine it. Oh,
这是在警惕未知的东西吧？就像我刚才说的那样，对他来说，人类是已知的，所以不会有什么过激的反应。
the bronze coin featured a relief of a limbless crustacean on one side and was smooth on the other. Crab. Coins from the offerings from the crab god. Palian acting like an
So
airport
it's inevitable.
It is inevitable. Palian, acting like an airport security officer, scanned the coin, then shook its head and settled down beside Lyu Xuan, lazily swishing its
李
tail.
小姐，你看，他很像是在保护你，好少见。
Is the girl a monster or a real girl? That's... A girl is a... cat. Cat monster.
Yeah, Clever, I'm sure you'll see her open her mouth soon.
Yeah. Watching Jasper's boundless enthusiasm, Lyu Xuan couldn't help but see her as child. Oh,
Oh, Jasper.
Jasper is a real girl. Jasper is a normal human child. Who,
We assume, at least.
we assume. Who happens to know a lot about... concerningly a lot about supernatural things. Lyu Xuan couldn't
Is she
help
getting
but
paid enough?
I hope so.
Do we need to tip her?
We should. Lyu Xuan couldn't help but see her as childlike, especially given her forgetfulness about explaining the purpose of the
大人
coin.
和小孩的差别，就在对常识的了解程度吧。
The difference between adults and children, something.
Oh, sorry.
It's fine. I just be in their understanding of something.
Of common knowledge.
Oh,
哎，不好意思，又忘记了。
Oh no, I forgot again.
she forgot.
Gifagor. Eto ble. Jasper stood up, pointed at the coin in Lyu Xuan's hand, and
李
explained.
小姐，你把硬币抛起来，然后用手抓住，接着手心朝上，猜它是正面还是反面就可以啦。
What?
It's gambling.
Oh no. Let's go
Gambling.
gambling. Lyu Xuan nodded, and before flipping the coin, she pulled her right hand from her back. Behind her back and set the handgun on the table. Don't mind the gun, Jasper. Jasper's eyes widened in shock, and she instinctively stepped back, distancing herself slightly from Lyu Xuan.
不用担心，我现在相信你不是来害我的，不然做这么多实在大费周章。之后叫我吕璇就行。
Trust in Jasper, however, was largely based on Palian's behavior and its reaction to the situation. My pet cat approves of you. You are friend.
You must be a good person.
Lyu Xuan deftly moved her fingers to position the coin on her thumbnail. Then she flicked her thumb, setting the coin spinning into the air while Jasper looked up in anticipation. Lyu Xuan enjoyed the peculiar whirring sound of the metal slicing through the air, deliberately let the coin fall a bit further before catching it with one hand.
般都要另一只手也在旁边护着吧？
I'm just that good. Jasper began clapping. For a moment, Lyu Xuan couldn't tell if she was being sarcastic.
好了，画着螃蟹的那面是正面吧？
啊，那个不是螃蟹，不过确实是正面。
That's not a crab? Lyu Xuan shifted her gaze to her own hand. Heads or tails? Oh. Hello? Oh! Oh!
Oh, save! It's gambling?
Let's go gambling!
Let's go gambling!
We have a very specific save prompt here. Alright, heads or tails?
Let's try Tails the Fox.
Tails the fox. This is very clearly a zero-time dilemma. Where if
I love that.
Where if we flip tails, we just win the game. If we flip correctly, we win the game now.
反面吧，我不太喜欢吃螃蟹。
But they're
螃
delicious.
蟹了。
Oh, dang it.
Now we gotta play the decision game.
Life isn't fair. Lyu Xuan opened her hand to reveal the image of the crustacean facing up.
猜错了，真可惜。
然后呢？这样就不算数了？
As Lyu Xuan finished speaking, the coin quickly filled with cracks, then crumbled like a collapsing sandcastle, turning into fine black dust that sprinkled into her palm. Eh? Startled, she was about to shake it off when Jasper suddenly spoke.
李轩，这就是老板为了表示诚意送给你的礼物。
What's about to happen? Jasper gestured toward the chaotic living room behind her. Following Jasper's pointing hand, Lyu Xuan looked up and her eyes widened in amazement. Scattered glass shards began to move back toward the broken window. The bloodstains on the sofa slowly, oh my, retracted, revealing the
Looks like
pristine
localized
fabric.
rewind.
And the damaged cabinets and lamps defied gravity, lifting back into their original positions. Wow. Alien agilely leaped around, dodging the tumultuous surge of furniture pieces and glass, and settled back onto the sofa. Lyu Xuan felt as if a thick, murky, deep sea was cleansing her living room. She could almost hear ancient waves in her ears. The shed old shells emitted a strange odor, but the bodies that regrew were pure and beautiful. This cycle of renewal that could survive through millenniums until... Lyu Xuan suddenly regained her senses, the illusion dissipating. Transformations in the living room remained a tangible reality.
怎么回事啊？
Jasper placed her hands in front of her, smiling slightly, appearing suddenly more mature.
夜晚被破坏的地方会被全部恢复，可惜你猜错了，否则这枚硬币还能再发挥一次相同作用。
Oh,
Huh.
这便是
So
几
it's
丁
like
的硬币
exploding dice.
老板希望能借这个礼物和你成为朋友。
Chitin coin. Lyu Xuan clenched her fist, the black dust of the coin slipping through her fingers.
你到底是谁？你说的老板究竟是什么人？
我是老板的养女，平时也替他打理店里的事务。
He makes you work?
Adopted for child labor. Jasper replied as she sat down on the sofa and hugged a pillow to her
老板
chest.
说你现在是世界上最富有的人，恐怕追溯过去或者遥想未来，都不会有累积至此的财富集中在个体上。
Ah,
In a just world.
real.
靠买卖生存的我们，十分希望能和吕璇建立友好的关系啊。
She clapped her hands together, brushing the remaining dust from her palms.
我听不懂，什么财富？
Lyu Xuan knew the conversation wasn't about cash, but rather about the mysterious black hole and numbers that had appeared in her palm. She was curious to see how much Jasper knew about her unique situation. At the same time, she noticed that the part of the sofa that had been cut hadn't reverted to its original state, nor had the bullet holes in the ceiling. Touching the scar on her waist left by the deadwood, surprisingly, it no longer hurt.
原来如此。
老板说你有疑义，吕璇，你还没接触过使用这种货币的交易，所以对这个数量没有概念。
I mean,
Well,
Yeah, the thing...
We've engaged in a single transaction, we think.
A non-consensual transaction. So
We
to
did not
speak.
consent to this expensive medical care.
Indeed.
虽然就算这只是人类通用的货币，也足够惊人了。
Jasper smiled, her feet rubbing together at the tips as she sat on the sofa.
先等等，你们是怎么知道我手里有这东西的？
Anticipated that this question wouldn't be difficult for Jasper to answer. If she was willing to respond directly, she would do so. If she preferred to evade, she likely had a prepared excuse. But the usually talkative young girl now seemed troubled. She hopped off the sofa and paced back and forth with furrowed brows.
你怎么了？
Jasper shook her head, stopped next to Palion, then half knelt, leaning her body against Palion's back. She rubbed her thick fur while she spoke.
其实我也有点搞不明白了，但是，
Jasper rested her cheek against Palion's lower back, keeping her gaze steady on Lyu Xuan.
还是跟你说吧，是这样的，昨天晚上老板就跟我说今天要来找你了。结果早上起床之后，我虽然还记得这件事，但想不起来老板为什么要叫我过来，而且昨天我肯定是问过了的。所以我又
Memory
去找
stuff
了
going
老
on
板，
here too.
没想到他也忘了。
Yeah, oh.
过了好久才跟我说你身上应该有这一役，所以我这个点才到，不然本来预定早上就来呢。
So whatever happened last night caused a lot of memory shenanigans. Because we had...
100 million and they still won't name the currency.
Right. So, because we had memory shenanigans too. Last night. It seems that the boss had prepared in advance just like you. A memory slip. Particularly about the 100 million, which he might have only found out about a few hours earlier. Its inconsistency in the details in Jasper's story made Lyu Xuan even more perplexed about what she was involved in.
对了，这些话可别在老板面前提啊，我怕他知道我说太多会生气呢。
看来你们关系还有点复杂。我知道了，你接着说这1亿的价值吧。
Do you want me to adopt you?
Do you want to get in my will, huh? Jasper nodded and
你
continued.
以1比1000的算法去对应平时花的钱就很合适啦。只不过要拿到你的这1亿，可比
Oh,
这1000
geez.
元难多了。
And this 100 billion is of Ryoshu child acquired.
就算你说的天花乱坠，在我听来也都是胡话。实际上，这1亿只给我带来了危险。钱要能换到对等价值的东西才有意义吧？
所以才说你对这些还没有概念嘛，你太小看这1亿了。现在你就因为有他们而白白得到了老板的礼物，此后也会一直由我们作为你的向导，帮助你面对超自然事物。
那我现在能用它换回我正常的生活吗？
Can I cash out? Jasper pouted, seemingly displeased with Lyu Xuan's reply. She sat on the floor, legs crossed, her right hand buried in Palion's thick fur.
刚才说的都是我从老板那听来的了，我也不清楚你的那些价值，除了买东西还有什么用法。
Beyond making purchases.
Okay,
所以
so
先跟我去
if
店里和老板见一面，肯定比我在这里说空话来的有用。
If
one of these units is worth 1,000 Chinese yuan, then we have about $14 billion, which is less than a tenth of Jeff Bezos' worth.
we need to eat him.
We need to eat him.
Yes. Palion, go. You know what you must do.
Girls gotta eat.
Yeah. Lyu Xuan bowed her head, reflecting on the dreamlike visions she had experienced. Felt as if she was being swept away by a profound current, drifting uncontrollably into the unknown. She wondered if following Jasper might lead her into danger. Or what she should do if she decided to refuse. Seeing that Lyu Xuan remained silent, Jasper went over to Palion and began to stroke its soft neck and long fur. As Lyu Xuan's thoughts churned, they slowly shifted from rational considerations to more existential questions. Why was she experiencing these events? And why was she so unnervingly calm, with fear and surprise fleeting?
算了。
Oh, she's not normally like this? Never mind. I need to find a way to survive in the first
inning. Let's ball! Lyu Xuan stood up and walked behind
我
Jasper.
明白你和你的老板对这些乱七八糟的事情很了解，也知道你们帮我是有利可图的。但我不能在一无所知的情况下就跟你回店里，然后按照你们的建议行事。我需要自己来调查。
The currency conversion is that 1 USD is about 7 Chinese yuan.
So rounds up to 7.
等我
Yes, so 1 Chinese yuan is about 0.14 USD.
Ah. Phew.
我能理解你了，也知道以你的能力大概能处理好这些事。
那就等我做好准备再谈。没什么要说了的吧？我要带着小怪物出去，先开车送回你店里吧。
I need to take my dog for a walk.
没问题。
Evente. Jasper responded, continuing to smooth Palion's fur as she spoke.
来，准备出门啦。这个，吕璇，它有名字吗？
不知道，为了方便，我自己给它取了一个。
先别说，让我猜猜。它看上去有点像
Sphinx？
狮身人面像，是不是取名叫斯芬克斯啦？
I mean, if you consider the tail, I can kind of see it.
我这个思路的话，应该叫贝斯特吧，毕竟它
Oh.
Pause.
Oh. Jasper would get along with Iris
我觉
Sagan.
得更像狗吧。
Yeah.
Palion,
I
since
have no idea what Xuan means by that. The behavior is dog-like, at least.
That is true. Palion, sensing Lyu Xuan picking up her phone and gun, realized she was about to leave and got up to follow her.
不过你看，
He already recognizes Walk's time.
并脚呢，
Yeah.
还有个翅膀似的形状，这不就是女武神吗？
Tufts look almost like a Norse Valkyrie, my girl.
那我可不敢这样使唤它。
We don't even have to say the W-A-L-K word.
开玩
She
笑啦
knows.
那你叫它什么啊？
Oh, I just realized the joke. She's going through all these noble and deity-like names, and Lyu Xuan's gonna say Snowball. Lyu Xuan finished tying her shoes, looped her car keys onto her finger, slipped them into her pocket, then called
来
out.
走吧。
Oh, we don't get to see her reaction. Lyu Xuan followed the directions on the navigation app to the location Jasper had mentioned, checking out the information and reviews listed for the shop. It seemed to be a normal pawn shop and antique store, which is quite different from the underground market catering to supernatural entities she had imagined. Okay, Google, what are the reviews? What did it have on Yelp? As they approached a yellow traffic light, Lyu Xuan slowed the car and came to a stop, then glanced in the rearview mirror. Jasper was still clutching Palion tightly, her expression marked by
你
discomfort.
帮小白把帽子戴好，别让路人看到了。
Oh,
怎么能取名叫小
We already got them a hood.
cute. Jasper protested, but she adjusted Palion's hood and held her close protectively.
人家长得这么好，头上的嘴巴看起来这么凶，还有又长又重的大尾巴。
Jasper cradled Palion's tail in her arms.
居然叫他小白，也太随便啦！
That seems too understated. Lyu Xuan understood the name might not seem appropriate, but she couldn't think of a better one.
小白挺
I
喜欢的，
approve.
就这样吧。
Just as Jasper was about to protest, Lyu Xuan quickly interrupted, preferring not to get into an argument with a child.
虽然看起来好像是我在养着它，但我只要看到小白张嘴，就会觉得很不舒服。
Don't pull a Lara Silver. Do not press the gun button.
但你就很喜欢这些超自然生物吧？ 为什么？
会吗？我觉得跟猫猫狗狗之类的没什么区别吧。
That's fair.
Mhm.
Lyu Xuan replied, accelerating to keep pace with traffic, so that her imagination roamed, envisioning the cars around them as animal-shaped, with drivers merely acting as mimicking organs.
我
Oh
觉得差
dear.
多了。
也是，我的想法如果跟其他人一样才奇怪呢。
Jasper possesses a unique aura, not just that of a mature child or someone wise beyond their years. Lyu Xuan suspected that her distinctive qualities stemmed from a highly unusual upbringing.
或者，他说的老板对他做过什么？
Sus. Ooh.
The adoption offer's still open.
Yes.
我弟弟的想法倒是更像普通人。啊，我忘记说了，我们是双胞胎姐弟，都被老板收养了。
Oh.
Oh?
还有个弟弟啊！
Lyu Xuan adjusted the steering wheel as they continued toward their destination.
我活了27年都没碰到过这种事，但世界上居然还有你们这样从小就和超自然生物接触的人在。而且怪事突然一股脑的挤在我面前，有很多东西我想不明白。
是吗？在我看来，世界就应该是这样的，去了哪一块都运转不了。不过像我们姐弟俩这样的也不多啦。吕璇倒是很了不起，几个小时前第一次碰到超自然生物就是被盯上性命，还没断手断脚的就活了下来。
I mean, I lost one temporarily.
First, so
Yeah.
our job doesn't normally involve
养
this?
了一只这么可爱的，该不会你才不是人类吧？
That's such a concerning question to ask with a laugh like that.
I wonder if the perfume is helping her keep calm or something.
Oh. And it's like agency-provided perfume.
Like a sedative.
That, yeah, keeps her memory in check and keeps her calm and level. Jasper burst into laughter, playfully scratching
他
Palion's
好像
chin.
很清楚我碰上枯木怪物的情况，却没提过我醒来之前发生过什么。
He seems well aware of my encounter with the Deadward creature, and hasn't mentioned what happened before I woke up.
别想这么多啦，见到老板之后肯定能得到帮助的。就冲我们俩的名字里有一个字相同，老板就会对你很好啦。
你这种想法倒是像个孩子。
Jasper shook her head playfully, thinking to herself that she indeed was still a child. Sign for West Flowing Pawn Shop was painted in gold letters, typical choice for shops that often include auspicious words like Jin or Xing in their names, yet Lyu Xuan couldn't find any special significance in the name West Flowing. The shop's red brick facade, dusty and marked by time, contrasted with the newer deep blue signboard that boldly declared 20 Park Street. The shop looked
Oh,
like
there's
any
20 parks here.
ordinary... 20 of them! Any ordinary pawn shop, seemingly unconnected to anything
就是这儿
supernatural.
了吧？没想到就这么开在大路边。
The supernatural part is that there's 20 parks inside.
人类以外的客人会从另一边走啦。不过小白挺像人的，以后你带他来就从这边走吧，也比较好停车。
Ah,
小白，我走啦，下次再来找你玩。
bye-bye. Jasper held Palion tightly in the rearview mirror, clinging to him for a long while before she reluctantly got out of the car and quickly walked around to Lyu Xuan's window. That feels like a translation matter, just regarding pronouns. Defaulting to...
I guess since we don't know Paleon's gender due to
很多东西盯上
not being able to ask.
Yeah. And not really familiar with that kind of anatomy.
谢谢你。
Lyu Xuan reached out and affectionately pinched Jasper's chubby cheek. Despite everything, he trusted that Jasper truly wanted to help her.
姐姐，
Cinnabar.
Cute.
回来啦。
And yeah, I had assumed that Paleon was a girl just because this is a Yuri game, and Paleon cute.
This is true. Lyu Xuan found herself at a loss to guess Jasper's brother's name.
丹霍，你好，我是吕璇。
我知道你是谁，看你也没打算下车，是不相信我们吧？那就赶紧把车开走。没看到有辆车过来了吗？
Oh?
大货，态度别这
You
么
got a
差
line of
嘛。
customers?
没关系，他是嫉妒我和他姐姐关系这么好吧？
Cinnabar gave Lyu Xuan a skeptical look, but as he mentioned, a luxury car was indeed pulling up and coming to a stop ahead. The driver quickly unbuckled his seatbelt as a high school-aged girl emerged from the back seat, spoke briefly with the driver, then headed toward West Flowing Pawn Shop. The luxury car carefully backed up, easing Lyu Xuan's worry about the narrow road potentially causing a scrape.
苏大小姐来了，大货，你带她进去吧。
Miss Sue. Lyu Xuan glanced around, curious to see what sort of person frequented this place. However, as soon as her gaze shifted, it caught the attention of one of the patrons.
看什么看？
Oh,
Ooh.
ma'am. Lyu Xuan quickly turned away, and this reaction caused Jasper to giggle and cover her mouth with her hand.
好了好了，不挡着你们做生意了。
With her head.
吕璇，拜拜，记得要再来呀。
Go, go, kids. Front door of Byway's private clinic bore a sign announcing it was closed for the day. After the chaos of the night, a temporary closure was inevitable. It seems it will reopen tomorrow. Just needs to seal off and renovate the areas damaged by that deadwood creature. Rest of the clinic can operate normally.
老白，
你可算来了，感觉身体怎么样？
没什么问题，而且刚才就有懂那怪物的人找上门了。不过，我还是想先从能信任的路子开始。
Watching Pelion devour its meal, Lyu Xuan momentarily panicked, but quickly composed herself. Appearance of a mysterious black hole in her palm, followed by the sudden arrival of a white creature that seemed to rescue her, would not be a coincidence. He then collaborated with Byway to facilitate what would be the tensest blood draw of his career.
那说正事吧。白色怪物的血液报告出来了。
Alright, what's the verdict? Lyu
Okay, so
Xuan.
Paleon does have blood.
The verdict is, he does have blood. Lyu Xuan received the report Byway handed her, searching for entry she could
我这
understand.
里只有常规的血液检测，所以查不出什么特别的。看起来有类似红细胞、白细胞的成分在，像是血小板体积、淋巴细胞比率这些栏位也有数据，还不至于连血液成分都测不出来。
Her blood contains blood.
但除此之外的东西就查不到了。最关键的 DNA 我这里做不了。
Her blood does not contain DNA.
没那么简单就能搞清楚啊。
是啊，即便如此，我还特意叫你过来，就是想给你推荐个地方。
Oh.
2个月前，鹿城大学来了个生物研究小组，在秦宇搞了个实验室，你可以去那里试试。
Lyu Xuan quickly picked up on the subtext in Byway's words.
老白，你的意思是？
Byway nodded, affirming Lyu Xuan's suspicion. She wasn't investigating the blood of an ordinary creature.
他们小组做的可能不是常规的生物研究。
Okay, so our second group that seems to be familiar with
你之前
supernatural.
去出任务了，估计还不知道。2个月前，有头抹香鲸搁浅在白城沙滩附近。
Lyu
What
Xuan,
kind of whale?
yeah. Lyu Xuan had already heard a bit about the situation, so she nodded, signaling Byway to
你应
continue.
该知道，我开了诊所之后，被鹿城大学聘为荣誉教授，有时候会去讲课。之前参加了校方办的酒局，在那听他们说，搁浅的抹香鲸是鹿城大学的一个研究项目，已经跟踪很久了。那天深夜，
Is it the sea creature we're
抹香鲸搁
thinking
浅在
of?
白城沙滩之后，没过多久便确
Was
认死
declared
亡，
dead. Its
他们
body
也
was
立刻
quickly
把尸体拖走。
released
Maybe not.
itself. Baicheng Beach. Body was quickly removed.
I don't think we got a name for the beach at the end of Chrono Jotter.
Right. It feels like it matches, but we don't know enough about this particular incident to say for sure. Lyu Xuan began to suspect there was more to Byway's story as he
酒
spoke.
喝多之后，你懂的，总有人忍不住要吹牛说大话。有人说那条鲸鱼很特别，什么只有1颗眼睛，没有骨架之类的。
Oh.
实际上，那个跟踪抹香鲸的研究小组在鲸鱼搁浅之后就解散了。之后不知道从哪里来了一群新的研究人员，接手了这个项目。我刚才提到的实验室也是他们建的。 说是专门清除一栋楼，还购置了很多新设备。不管具体是什么情况，他们那儿有更先进的生物研究设备是肯定的。我也能以鹿城大学教授的名义让你去参观。
Just imagining the darkest dungeon style response to this. It's just we're tracking this whale. It washed up. Oh God, what is this? We've made a mistake. See ya. We're out.
我帮你给那个怪物抽贫血，带去那里做检测吧。只是这白色血液看着就非同一般，对方问起来，你要怎么回答？
没关系，我就说是你给我的血液样本，让他们找白伟老师说去。
你真是……行吧，注意安全。
不过
Lyu Xuan crossed her arms and asked teasingly.
老白，你知道我给小怪物取了个名字吧？干嘛不用那个名字称呼它？一直说白色怪物听起来很别扭。
Right away, while writing a
She loves
letter.
Paleon so much.
Yeah. While writing a letter of introduction, shook his
你
head.
叫我老白，然后那东西叫做小白，岂不是搞得像我生的？这才叫别扭。
会吗？我觉得叫起来很可爱。
I agree.
你们小女生的喜好就别套给我了。
Little White is Xiao Bai.
Oh.
You know, like Bai Wei Bai.
Yeah.
They're related.
Oh. Oh. Handling the letter of introduction to Lyu Xuan, Bai Wei offered some final advice on how to care for the wound and watched her leave the clinic.
Hey, pet care.
Yeah. Lyu Xuan returned to her car, her mind filled with potential destinations, but unsure where to go
想
first.
去晴雨的话，要先把小白送回家里，还要叫个快递把血袋先送过去，不然安检。
At security. Suddenly her phone vibrated in her pocket, snapping her out of her thoughts. Su Lingxi. Lyu Xuan. Jasper gave... Oh, that's the Su who we
Yeah,
met.
that's Su Lingxi. Clever, she's not a high school girl since she is one of the love interests.
Oh. Jasper gave you your phone number. Said you could help me solve the problem. I will pay. I can help you investigate the black hole in your hand. Who are you? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go.
Who are you?
I'm Su Lingxi. Send me a photo of you if you want me to help. If you want to help me, send me a photo of you. No, not Jasper. Jasper is a child and not a love interest. After reading the message,
Jasper is also very much not high school aged.
yes, not Jasper. Clever. After reading the message, Lyu Xuan had a good idea who Su Lingxi was, and she realized that Jasper's intention for taking her to the store was to meet her. Without much hesitation, she activated her phone's front camera. Selfie! Lifted her chin to make her face look smaller, slightly tilted her head to get the right angle, and pressed the shutter button. At that moment, Paleon looked up, also getting captured in the photo. Double selfie! Me and my pet. There she is. ...
Stylish.
Okay, go to the golden car. Golden cam? Or
Just
golden
wanted to
car?
check if we're her type.
Yeah. Okay, go to the golden car building when you're ready. That shiny building on the Hushin district, you know?
Yeah.
Text me after arrival.
Right.
We're on a few
陆大
words.
小姐，对吧？
Miss Sue, huh?
Ooh. Tutorial. Main story objective will always appear in the top left corner of the map. It was unlocked or updated on your phone. A prompt will pop up here. Oh, okay. Click here to open your phone on the map interface. Main quest. Deep Sea. Subplots of the story content that Lyu Xuan and other characters experience together. Dawnstream, Dawnstream, Dawnstream. Hi, Dark. Bonus Freya.
Woohoo! Are you ready for dating start?
Yes. Those of the map are called Strangers and Strange Things. They have nothing to do with the main story. My short stories, The People of Heron City, will be updated as the main story progresses or some hidden content. Conditions are updated, then the unread Strange Things will not be overwritten. Oh my goodness, we have suddenly... Whoa, whoa. This is a lot of things happening here. No, I can't date. I'm taken. This is fair. Alright.
Will we need to buy gifts for our dates? With our $14 billion?
Palian! Look at our pet doggo.
Oh!
Look at our pet doggo. Palian's
Yeah.
form often brings to mind mythical creatures, with a body that merges animal and human features. The human aspect notably robust. If I close my eyes and overlook its enormous mouth, allowing it to nestle against me and rest its delicate arms on my chest, I can relish the comfort provided by its soft body, silky fur, thereby ignoring its strangeness. However, closing my eyes is not an option. We love our pet, our doggo. Side quest.
Our normal dog.
Moon blocks. Okay. Deep sea. It's like that grid
This is just the
screenshot.
story so far.
Okay. So. Okay. So we're going to the ferry terminal to go meet Sue. No. These are both side quests. Oh, deep sea is just to go get the blood tested. Okay. So side quest, we can go back to the pawn shop to meet Jasper. To befriend Jasper. I had a job interview today. They asked for references by 4 p.m. this afternoon. Oh gosh. Best of luck.
I like you better with my glasses off. I'll put them on and face the facts.
Wow, that description. Regular at the pawn shop, ruled by monsters.
Huh.
An ally capable of uncovering secrets held tight in my hand, and someone who seeks my help with her troubles. Meeting her, a confluence of many roles was bound to deeply influence my foray into the supernatural realm. My way? Private hospitals?
Trusted friend.
Yeah. Having seen too many young people sustain life-altering injuries while he was abroad, he's taken a keen interest in my well-being. Does anyone know where she shops, though? Rich people places. Mystery unknown contact. About Lyu Xuan's selfie. Oh no, it's just existing conversation. Oh. Is this the unknown contact? Alright. Midnight gunshots. Seen this. Typhoon warning. The city's meteorological bureau
Good job.
announced that a tropical cyclone has formed over nearby waters and is expected to impact Egret City soon.
Oh God, it's Walpurgisnacht.
Oh no. Citizens are advised to prepare and exercise caution while traveling. Experts note that the storm's rapid and unusual development remains under investigation. Concerning. Alright, so we could go to the pawn shop, go to the parking lot of the Golden Apex Tower. Ferry terminal. Go home. Pawn shop. It'd be hard to... You're trying to top magical girl me. Byway. Parking lot. Oh. These are side content things. Old woman. How?
Hello.
Lyu Xuan was about to go home to get a new air freshener for her car when she was stopped by an elderly lady with a black, Chinese simplified, rural dog at her feet. That feels like a translation error.
Whoopsie.
Oh, do you want Lyu?
Hello?
Lyu Xuan was sure she didn't know her. I live right next to you. Following the direction to the elderly lady pointed, Lyu Xuan saw a house similar to her own, where a kitten was sunbathing in the front yard. I've lived here for a long time, but it's rare to see you around. As she spoke, the colorless dog ran over to sniff around Lyu Xuan, clearly violating the community rules that required dogs to be leashed.
I've been quite busy with work. Are you also gay, old lady? That's nice.
This is the HOA side quest. Oh, what do you do? I see you come back only once in a while.
Nothing much, just lots of business trips and overtime. Normal stuff, because I'm normal.
So very normal. Just then the little black dog began to bark wildly for no apparent reason, but the elderly lady seemed not to hear it and continued chatting with Lyu Xuan. You must be working too hard. Not married yet?
Oh, God. Not yet. Auntie, I have to go. I'm in a bit of a hurry.
As Lyu Xuan finished speaking, the barking suddenly stopped. The elderly lady nodded, her face expressionless as she stared straight ahead and walked away.
Both the dog and its owner seem off. What if they're aliens?
Concerning.
Maybe I can try shooting them.
Gun. Is this just a replay of the scene, or? Oh, nightfall. Dog round 2.
Mm.
Lyu Xuan carried a bag of full of canned coffee from the neighborhood convenience store, ready to restock her home refrigerator. Remember that 3 months ago, before leaving for a business trip, there had been a few bottles left, but now only an old bottle of oolong tea remained. Nevertheless, she found joy in these small discrepancies, enjoying the cool breeze and the feeling of provision on her late-night shopping trips, feeling like she was fortifying her home, her own personal fortress. Suddenly, a rustling noise from behind this fortress made her alert, conjuring images of a dead python slithering through the underbrush. Concern was short-lived, however, as the elderly woman she had seen walking her dog during the day was now bustling about in the bushes with 2 plastic bags, surrounded by several stray dogs of various breeds.
Okay, that's normal.
The old lady opened the bags and poured out a heap of leftover food, causing Lyu Xuan to frown. Regardless of the woman's intentions, feeding stray dogs like this could pose a risk to the community. Lyu Xuan considered
What are
stepping
you, a
in
cop?
when she saw the elderly neighbor feeding stray dogs. However, she ultimately decided against it, reasoning that the community management, given the fees they collect, would likely address the issue soon. Yeah, this is the HOA side quest. We'd probably send someone
We're
to
the
deal with the
HOA.
stray dogs, though she wondered if this action might cause a conflict with the elderly lady.
This isn't really my concern anymore.
Wary of being roped into a conversation with the old lady, Lyu Xuan quickly tiptoed back to her house and softly closed the door. He then opened a
I thought I'd
can
let
of
your local
coffee.
shelter know about any stray dogs.
Real. He then opened a can of coffee and, accompanied by the intermittent barking from outside, savored its bittersweet taste. Oh. Surveillance.
Hmm?
Lyu Xuan made time to check the security footage at the property management office concerning the night she was attacked. As she suspected, there was a gap in the footage near her home. Video captured her returning home in the afternoon, and she did not exit again. However, as night fell, the footage abruptly cut to the moment the police arrived.
As expected, it's not that straightforward. If someone managed to enter my home undetected, it'd be foolish to think they hadn't tampered with the surveillance system.
Realizing that worrying
Was the
about...
dead tree creature a hacker?
Realizing that worrying about the assailant's capabilities was futile, Lyu Xuan stretched and walked home. Planned to relax that afternoon, brew some tea, and finish the novel she had been reading. Lovely R&R.
It's what we deserve.
Anything else we can find here? Oh, photos? Lyu Xuan stepped out of the shop in the west flowing, raising her hand to shield her eyes from the sun. Once her eyes adjusted to the light, a woman in a gray tracksuit approached her. Oh, it's you. Hello, could you tell me if you bought or sold anything in this store?
Just looking, nothing more. Right, I forgot that Bigfoot is radioactive.
As Lyu Xuan spoke, she headed toward her parked car, clearly not interested in continuing this conversation. However, the woman in the gray jacket was persistent, opening her phone to show a social media platform. I'm writing an article about small shops in Egret City and regularly post on this account. Would you be willing to do an interview?
You should speak with the store manager.
Customer opinions are more important. Lyu Xuan waved her off and got into her car. The journalist didn't persist further, and stood watching as Lyu Xuan drove away. Once the car disappeared around the corner, the journalist pulled a voice recorder from her gray jacket and pressed the stop button. You! Knowing Lyu Xuan's cautious nature, she hadn't expected the reserved woman to stop and chat. But capturing Lyu Xuan's voice was enough to meet her goal.
We're gonna get deep-faked.
With no real interest in the store, the woman in the grey jacket left the street, already planning the next opportunity to approach Lyu Xuan. Concerning...
Oh god, oh god.
Oops, accidentally clicked up. Anything else hanging around here for us to... Okay, that's Ferry Terminal. That's the island we need going. So we want to go to the pawn shop first, or do we want to go to the Golden Apex first?
I think Let's head to the pawn shop.
Pawn shop? Check it on Jasper and friends.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop some tags.
Yeah. Palian, cloaked in a hooded coat, staggered out of the car, its organ-like structures on either side of its head unfurled, indicating its discomfort with upright walking. Palian doesn't like walking like people. Guessing that Palian was nervous, Lyu Xuan took the lead, letting Palian lean against her as they slowly made their way into the shop. Dim lighting only emphasized the antiquity of the all-wood furniture and counter. Cinnabar was lounging behind the counter, leaning back in his chair with a large book open on his lap, the book looking almost as imposing as he was. He's a child. He looked up and frowned.
He's not very imposing.
Upon seeing Lyu Xuan. As I came into the stream, I have no context for the game, and I don't want any. This is Yakuza meets dating sim meets scripted horror game. That's... Yes. Yes, Dark.
Where does the Yakuza come in?
我是不想让玄龟失望。
Oh, we have already adopted Jasper.
And we'll adopt you.
Yes. Cinnabar glared at Lyu Xuan, but held back any harsh words. Just then Palian lost its balance and slumped onto Lyu Xuan's shoulder. Quickly adjusted her grip, pulling Palian in front of her and supporting its waist.
快进去吧，我看你带的小狗已经站不稳了，从帘子那儿走，一直往前。
Yes, boss. Lyu Xuan nodded, glancing at Cinnabar to bid him farewell, but he had already buried his head back into his book. She had no choice but to half-carry Palian and hasten forward. Lifting the curtain and taking a few steps, Jasper signaled that Palian could lie down. Lyu Xuan released her hold, and Palian promptly settled on all fours, stretching its body and straightening its tail. The organ-like structures on either side of its head remained unfurled.
Is Curio part of a homeowners association?
I wonder. Oh. Lyu Xuan then ascended a spiral staircase, pushed open a wooden door, and entered a basement. She navigated several turns, walking for nearly 10 minutes before reaching their destination. On the outside, the shop didn't appear to have such expansive space, and Lyu Xuan chose not to question the apparent discrepancy, knowing that it would only raise more doubts. Maybe there is 20 parks in here. After circuitous route, she finally reached the endpoint. Jasper, who was fiddling with a small black box in the wooden chair, immediately jumped down and ran towards Lyu Xuan with a startled cry.
你们的老板真该给你一个优秀员工的称号，这么热情，我怎么好意思拒绝？
Oh. Jasper chuckled and shook her head at Lyu Xuan's compliment.
你说的老板在哪儿？
稍等一会儿，马上就来了。
Oh. Jasper raised her hand, palm up, gesturing for Lyu Xuan to look toward the counter at the inner side of the room. Window was shrouded in darkness, making it impossible for Lyu Xuan to see anything inside. Are we summoning the boss? Palian seemed restless, pacing back and forth in the room, occasionally squatting next to Lyu Xuan, but quickly standing up again. Lyu Xuan's nerves started to tense up as well. If their intentions were malevolent, she was quite literally walking into the lion's den. That's a hand. She was...
I hope it's attached to someone.
Yeah. About to reach inside her coat to pull out her handgun when she suddenly noticed a pair of human arms extending through the darkness beyond the counter. The arms were gaunt and bore an unhealthy, pallid red hue. Oh dear. Lyu Xuan glanced at Palian to gauge its reaction, but although it continued to sniff around aimlessly, it remained alert without showing any signs of increased anxiety.
他到底在紧张什么？不是店长吗？
No, I think
What
it's...
exactly is it nervous about if it's not the manager?
你为什么不露脸？我知道你不是人类，不用躲躲藏藏的。
Jasper laughed, leaning against the counter with her arms crossed behind her back.
老板的名字叫刘希，就是店门口的那2个字。刚才也说了，是想跟你认识，并且建立好关系。老板虽然知道你有钱，但也不知道其来历，所以首先就要帮你搞清楚这1亿是从何而来。
We'd like to know that as well.
吕轩，你现在的状态就像刚从彩票中心拿到奖金，提着写有“我中了1亿”的现金袋，在周末的步行街上招摇过市。
听起来很傻。
Jasper laughed heartily again, then leaned forward to rest on the counter window, making eye contact with Lyu Xuan.
所以我们要帮你摆脱这个很傻的情况。
是通过苏灵溪吧？
Su Lingxi?
没错，原本还想着让你和他见一面，顺便收介绍费呢。
Got some candy to share with the class. Would anyone like some fuzzy peaches? Heck yes.
等他真的能帮上我再说吧。所以你想叫我来店里，就只是为了见苏灵溪？
还有，老板吩咐我带你了解一下店里能做什么，不然也谈不上合作嘛。
Oh.
外面看起来是跟人类交易的古董店。
跟吕璇合作的就不是那方面了。如果你找到什么有趣的东西，可以拿来店里，老板会补充你手里的数字。
Add it to your numbers?
那些数字和我的身体状况有直接关系，还是越多越好。有意思的东西是指什么？
我们服务可是面面俱到。为了让吕璇能尽快理解流程，眼下正好有个东西要去回收。有兴趣的话，现在我们就可以出发啦。
跟我
Oh.
说说具体要做什么吧。
没问题，那现在就出发，
Everything.
坐你的车去中山路。
Take your car to Zhongshan
那
Road.
里人挺多的，
中
应该没什么
山
怪东西吧？
Zhongshan. Jasper slung her shoulder bag, which had been lying on the table, over her shoulder like an elementary school student heading on a spring outing.
哎，路上再说吧，趁时间还早，出发出发。
Let's go.
Can we give half of our money to her just as a reward?
Honestly, I hope. Suddenly, we've moved on from our HOA side quest to our Pawn Stars side quest. As Lyu Xuan and her group meandered from the depth of the shop to the entrance, Cinnabar saw Jasper and set down his
要
book.
出门？
去拿庙里的东西，你在这儿好好看家吧。
Jasper walked over. Cinnabar gave him a tight hug and playfully tugged at his hair. Oh!
Aw.
One question for you: bee, rabbit, golem, or cookie? Not for myself, in case I biases things. I also vote cookie. In case I see the point of that second sentence now.
那我走啦。
去吧去吧，路上小心。
I'd like to vote for me. Ah!
How could you do this?
You have bamboozled us. Thoroughly japed.
雨璇，你应该知道这是什么吧？
Jasper pulled out 2 dark, crescent-shaped wooden pieces. Lyu Xuan pondered for a moment, feeling unfamiliar with them.
没见过。
It seemed Jasper hadn't expected this response from Lyu Xuan.
怎么会没见过？你从小到大去庙里拜拜的时候都没见过这个吗？路城里只要是个庙都有这个东西吧？
Jasper, honey, do I look religious?
我很少去庙里，而且我是几年前才搬过来的，不是路上人。
是吗？那你之前住哪的？
Yeah, get that bunny.
Yeah, get the Benui. Lyu Xuan glanced at the rearview mirror, letting a car pass before answering.
所以，这个东西是什么？
哦，这东西叫做脚杯，是用来
啊
和神或者祖先沟通用的道具。简单来说，就是丢到地上，根据正反组合来得出对方的想法。
Moon dice.
原来如此。那我们要去中山路的庙做什么？
Jasper fiddled with the moon blocks, speaking in an upbeat tone.
中山路里边有个很小的庙，那儿也有一堆脚杯。老板说要把它们拿回来，然后用我手上这个换掉。 具体什么情况我也不清楚。既然老板说要拿，那肯定不是普通的东西，照办就行啦。
Are we stealing those?
Yeah.
没有啦，如果当地人都觉得只是普通的脚杯，那么我们换了也没影响吧？
It's not a crime if we don't get caught?
这个有问题的东西情况就复杂了，随机应变吧。
We're just the temple support crew. We're repairing your temple artifacts. We maintain your temples. Lyu Xuan nodded, though she was more concerned about finding a parking spot in the bustling commercial street than any mysterious dangers that might be lurking in the temple. As one who drives, I agree. Finding a parking spot in a busy city is a very concerning prospect. Long before Egrid City became a treaty port, Zhongshan Road was already taking shape. Buildings constructed by locals, colonnades, and churches built by foreigners intertwined. And a century later, it became Egrid City's busiest pedestrian commercial street. In Night City, the only thing that matters is getting caught.
Don, can you hide the text box?
Oh,
I want to look at that dog over there.
Yes. Look at him.
Ice cream mascot dog?
Yeah, I think the ice cream mascot doggo.
Oh,
That is adorable.
yeah.
Let's see. I don't know why it feels like that's a stake on that left billboard, bottom left. A stake.
Are you considered steak?
Considering. Next to W. My favorite. Department store.
What?
I'm sending you a screenshot of the doggo for your needs. Thank you.
Thank you.
W, my favorite department store, and my favorite Arknights operator. But if one might consider the commercial streets segments marked and guided by bus stops as the well-known Zhongshan Road, then the old residential area accessed by navigating through small alleys deep within Zhongshan Road is its most primitive form. Oh. Following Jasper through a massive stone archway, Lyu Xuan traversed numerous winding paths before finally reaching their destination. A small, eerily quiet clearing next to a bustling area. In the center of the clearing stood an ancient small temple.
That is really small.
Yeah, my god.
It's sat oddly at the intersection of paths.
Yeah.
对吧？就是因为奇怪，我们才要来嘛。
It's the peculiarity. As the two prepared to enter the temple, climbing the stone steps, Lyu Xuan instinctively glanced back before stepping inside. What? Ma'am? A woman wearing sunglasses, as if to avoid Lyu Xuan's gaze, quickly walked into the corner of an alley. Lyu Xuan turned around, pretending to look up at the surrounding apartment buildings. Actually, focused on the corners of her view. Her field of view.
It's some drive-through worship.
Yeah. Moments later, the woman peeked out from around the corner, clearly watching Lyu Xuan.
怎么了？
Lyu Xuan shook her head, gently pushing Jasper into the temple with a hand on her back.
可能有人盯着我们。
啊，不会吧？什么事都没干就被当成坏人了？
还没到那份上，先继续吧。
Inside the temple, the walls were adorned with fire safety notices and community responsibility announcements. The sacred altar was separated by a dense wooden fence, making it hard for Lyu Xuan to see the deities clearly. The large redwood table in front of the altar were a lighter, loose incense, and an old incense burner, along with their objective for this visit, the black moon blocks. Lyu Xuan reached out to gently touch the surface of the moon blocks, feeling their rough texture. Sharp contrast to the typical smoothness of ordinary moon blocks. Ah, yes.
感觉怎么样？
没什么，但我也不太敢直接把它拿起来。
Just then, Lyu Xuan heard footsteps approaching, and quickly turned to see an elderly lady slowly climbing the stone steps.
你先在旁边等着，我和他聊聊。
For Lyu Xuan, mingling with locals and gathering information while concealing her identity, familiar surroundings was practically second nature. Jasper gave an okay sign and stepped aside, watching as Lyu Xuan approached the old woman to strike up a conversation. During their talk, Lyu Xuan learned that the temple had existed since the old woman's childhood. It's the dog lady. She's got the dog with her. She's got the Chinese simplified dog.
She's got that dog in her.
She frequently came here to cast moon blocks, burn incense, and worship, though she had never delved deeply into who was enshrined here. It seemed to be the Earth God from what Previews discussed. Oyashiro-sama.
Oh no.
Lyu Xuan nodded, feeling ready to make a decision.
你好，打扰一下。
Ma'am? Hello?
Other love interest.
Before...
Is.
That is real. Before Lyu Xuan could decide her next move, the previously strange woman suddenly approached them directly, interrupting Lyu Xuan's train of thought. Lyu Xuan turned, locking eyes with the newcomer.
他的眼睛看不见吗？
Oh,
有什么事吗？
没什么，就想问问你是不是游客？
the strange woman clasped her fist to her chest as she spoke, not pausing her stride, but instead walking into the temple first, then turning to look at Lyu Xuan. This action allowed Lyu Xuan to notice that the woman's eyes seemed to exhibit a sensitivity to light, although it was unclear why her pupils had such an unusual color.
差不多吧。来中山路随便逛逛，不知不觉就看到这间庙了。
啊，这里还挺不好找的。
After nodding and smiling at Lyu Xuan, the strange woman began chatting with the elderly lady. Lesbian vampire? Flexing her clenched fist and appearing much more at ease. Lyu Xuan wondered if her presence had somehow frightened the little girl, or if the other woman was nervous for some unspeakable reason. Jasper slipped next to Lyu Xuan, whispering,
怎么办？还真找上门来了。
见机行事吧。
Ooh. Decision point. Take the moon.
Maybe if we do it casually enough, she won't call us out on it.
Alright, let's do it. After a conversation with the young woman ended, the elderly lady knelt on the cushion in front of the altar, cradling the moon blocks between her hands while shaking them and murmuring prayers. Moments later, she tossed the blocks onto the ground, where both landed face down, indicating a negative answer. Sighing, she stood up, nodded to Lyu Xuan, and left.
你要来试试吗？
不了，我一向是不相信这些的，只是从来没有见过有庙就这么立在路中间，有点好奇才进来看看。
While the strange woman's back was turned away from the redwood table, Jasper stealthily approached and slipped the black moon blocks into her bag, placing them with ordinary ones.
他
Oh,
也太熟练。看的也差不多了，我该走了。
那个小女孩是跟你一起来的吗？
oh. Jasper
Never seen
froze.
her in our life.
Jasper froze for a moment as she was quietly making her way out, still behind the strange woman.
啊，对，是我的好朋友。
Lyu Xuan waited for a reply, but the strange woman suddenly lowered her head and fell silent. What? An unexpected shock
Is she about to kill us?
washed over Lyu Xuan, her eyes widening as she realized it emanated from the seemingly fair woman before her. The woman remained still, and Lyu Xuan quickly recovered from her surprise, signaling Jasper to join her as they hurriedly exited the temple. As they departed the small temple, the mysterious woman stood in the shadows, trembling slightly before slowly lifting her head to watch them leave.
绝对被发现了吧？
既然他没想管，我们也别多说了，走吧。
觉得那位戴眼镜的姐姐是来干嘛的？
不好说，但情况可能会比我们想的要复杂一些。从中山路到庙的过程中，我没注意到有人跟踪我们，所以他一开始就在庙附近待着。要么他知道我们今天会去那里，要么就是临时起意，看到我们俩之后做了某些判断，然后上来搭话。
如果是前者，那还真是有点麻烦了。八成是有什么超自然的力量预测了我们要去庙里。
那他很清楚我们的目的，否则就没必要预测。
Jasper leaned back in her chair, pensively staring at her wiggling toes.
我觉得不用这么担心。这
Why are
个
your
女孩
toes
子没
out?
什么恶意， 倒像是有什么想和我们谈谈。
We did a lot of walking. Let her get her toesies out.
怎么看出来的？
只是感觉。
Jasper laughed and playfully punched Lyu Xuan's shoulder.
回去跟老板说说吧，看他有什么打算。
Sure. Lyu Xuan nodded, the face of the strange woman still vivid in her mind. Did you see that, brief instant where it just, flashed?
Sure did.
All of her.
What was that?
Yeah. Despite a momentary sense of strangeness, she found herself curious about when they might meet again. It was like a breeze across a lake, neither leaving nor taking anything away, yet the ripples it stirred up lingered on. Hopefully we didn't lock ourselves out of getting to know her more by, taking her blocks.
It's
Jasper,
okay, that just makes us an interesting woman. According to webtoons, at least.
This is fair. Just because there's something a little odd about the voice acting audio quality. It's, occasionally in bursts gets, spotty. Voice acting has generally been good, just occasionally, now and then there are occasional bits of odd quality on it. But mostly good.
老板说没错，就是要这个。辛苦啦，给你50万作为报酬吧。
Here's 500,000.
下次还是让我干点合法的事吧。
500,000 what?
那可能挺难的。
Suddenly, from the direction of west flowing, a heavy scraping noise echoed through the darkness. A serpent-shaped statue was slowly pushed to the counter. Yet Lyu Xuan was sure no hands were involved. Oh?
李璇，注意看雕像。
Alright, I'm
Oh,
watching.
4 heads.
4 of them.
4 heads.
The lively tone, Jasper encouraged Lyu Xuan to focus her attention on the serpent statue, curious about what might happen next.
Dad. I was already thinking that 4 is an unlucky number.
As the serpent statue dripped a vivid red liquid from its head, the fluid traveled down its coiled body to the tail, where it gathered into a circle. It then quickly solidified, forming a red coin on the counter. Oh, eyeball coin. Lyu Xuan
Oh,
watched intently, her focus drawn to an eye engraved on the coin, its shape reminiscent of a black hole in the palm of a hand.
oh, it really wasn't a crustacean.
Ah! The eye on the coin appeared weary, motionless, yet seemingly staring back at Lyu Xuan. Jasper picked up the coin, weighed it in her hand with a few shakes, and smiled broadly.
好啦，的确是50万，还挺重的呢。
Cryptocurrency from Apple.
你去我家的时候拿的也是一个硬币吧？
哦，对，老板确实喜欢收集硬币啦。对他来说，这才是最熟悉的货币形式。
That's fair. Oh! This currency. Holla holla get currency. Lyu Xuan
We don't
placed
need to know the unit.
Real. Oh, it's the same that's the same symbol as our currency counter.
Yeah.
Lyu Xuan placed the red coin handed to her by Jasper onto a black hole in her palm. Instantly, a mass of wriggling black lines emerged, swiftly devouring the coin. This act brought with it a profound sense of satisfaction, reinforcing Lyu Xuan's suspicion that the connection between these numbers and her body was more profound than she had initially thought.
那就这样吧，脚杯的事情应该就告一段落。如果之后有事要找你，我会给你发短信的。
不先告诉我那对教杯是什么吗？
No sooner had Lyu Xuan spoke than the pale arms from west flowing disappeared into the darkness. Jasper shrugged and replied,
我也不知道，如果老板之后告诉我了，会转达给你的。
Cool.
Cool.
Good talk. Oh. That's gotta be her.
She's so small.
He's so small. Jasper held a little bear-shaped ice cream that Lyu Xuan had bought for her.
Oh my God.
Diligently licking the melted parts with her tiny tongue. Despite the winter chill, the commercial street is filled with children like her, reveling in the cold sweetness of their treats. Ooh.
There are quite a few kids here for the event.
Yes, this ice cream brand loves to collaborate with cartoons. I'll be choosing the one kids love most.
You don't watch those shows, do you?
Those cartoons are pretty silly, but the ice cream looks pretty cute and tastes good, too. I'm glad you're here. I wouldn't be able to come to this kind of event that requires 2 participants on my own. What did we come to?
Oh, we're her chaperone.
Oh. Lyu Xuan nodded, thinking that West Flowing definitely wouldn't leave home for such an event, and Cinnabar probably wouldn't be interested either.
Oh, if you ever need someone in the future, just let me know. I'm happy to help. Why isn't your boss/guardian taking care of this?
I will, for sure.
I thought you were mature enough to go out on your own without any issues.
It's always better to have someone with you. Jasper smiled
Safety.
and looped her arm through Lyu Xuan's, the mouth of the bear-shaped ice cream turning into a smile that melted.
This must be what it feels like to have a little sister.
Oh,
Uh,
love them. ... Meanwhile, that sour soup hot pot was amazing. We have to come again next time. Ice cream and then hot pot in that order.
feels like every time I go out with you, we end up eating.
Cinnabar wasn't particularly interested in food or drink, but outings with Lyu Xuan were always free. Isn't that delightful? Lyu Xuan reached out, circling her hand over Jasper's head like a scalp massager. Tickles, tickles. Oh?
Do you know the story about Bus 507? It's kind of creepy, kind of funny. It's a combination creepy funny.
It's freepy. Hearing that, hearing that from behind, both Lyu Xuan and Jasper instinctively went quiet and listened.
They say the driver goes so fast he won't stop, swears he won't hit the brakes until the final stop. Goes so fast, they've even had to move the terminus farther down the line, or he wouldn't have time to stop at all.
How does that work logistically?
That's ridiculous.
That's the plot.
How would that work logistically?
Yeah. That's the plot of Speed, starring Keanu Reeves. Yeah, same thought, Doug, same thought. Jasper sipped her low-calorie milk tea, eyes wide. Lyu Xuan, look! Bus 507 really had its terminus extended a few times over the last 10 years.
I see, so the rumor probably started from that fact.
Maybe, but sometimes it works the other way. Rumors can actually make anomalies show up for real. Be kind of exciting. Urban myth dissolution.
Yes!
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. That does not bode well for Ronnie Buki.
Yeah. Lyu Xuan shook her head, glancing back casually. The crowd pressed shoulder to shoulder behind them. Impossible to tell who had started the rumor. Begin dissolution. Let's see. Anything else hanging around here? We can still go see Gun. That's just a side event thing.
The urban myth of just a really fast guy.
Yeah. Lyu Xuan got back into her car, still savoring the taste of the noodles she had just eaten. Although not a unique delicacy of Egret City, she particularly enjoyed the seasoning at this restaurant, making it a must-visit every time she returned to Egret City after work. This time she had tried a flavor she seldom ordered. It did not disappoint, leaving her quite satisfied as she buckled her seatbelt, ready to drive off. Just then a rustling sound came from beside the window. A little girl wearing a t-shirt printed with a picture of an anglerfish was waving a flyer at Lyu Xuan incessantly. Normally Lyu Xuan would just wave her hand and drive away, but she couldn't bear to let such a young girl go unrewarded in the cold wind. She rolled down the window. Wow, I knew you'd be interested, big sis.
Give it to me.
Our organization seriously investigates Egret City's unsolved mysteries and bizarre creatures. We're not joking.
How many people are in your organization?
It's a challenging path. That doesn't answer my question, little girl.
Is this like your school club or something? We're part of this. We're part of the Urban Myth Dissolution Center.
Oh no, we really are.
Wouldn't setting up a social media account be more effective than distributing flyers?
Our accounts have been banned several times. What are you doing, child?
I think we should read this flyer.
Yeah. Lyu Xuan looked up at the girl and said,
And tell me about some of the things you've discovered?
didn't end up being here for very long. Gotta say, good night, Dark. Thanks for good to see you again.
Hey, night, Dark.
Oh, I can't do that. You have to join first. You understand, right, Big Sis?
Oh, right, I'll think about it. I've made a terrible mistake. I've made a mistake. I've made a mistake.
I have joined the cult. Lyu Xuan flicked the flyer, letting her place it in her car's storage box, but a glimpse of the yellowed paper caught her eye, prompting a soft exclamation of surprise. Yeah. What's
That's
going
a
on
picture
here?
of me.
Oh no.
What's going on here? What are these?
She leaned out of the window to look for the girl who had handed her the flyer, but she was nowhere to be seen.
Don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
Have I caught the attention of something again? But it doesn't feel right to just throw this away. Oh, I should take it back to Paleon for a look. How many more bizarre things are hidden in the city?
Paleon?
This is normal to me.
Sniff, sniff, track. The twins let out a series of shrieks as soon as Lyu Xuan brought the flyer to the West Flowing pawn shop. What is this? This flyer contains these things.
You mean words?
How is this possible? Why would these photos be taken?
I was hoping you could provide some answers. What should I do now?
Jasper held the flyer, her large eyes brimming with confusion, and even Cinnabar was surprised by the curious object Lyu Xuan had brought them. What do you think? It might be safer to hand it over to us, but you can keep it if you prefer.
Take it. Perhaps you could compensate me a bit, right?
Yeah, it's probably safer to keep something like that and keep something that can print out such flyers with us. No one in the shop noticed the true nature of the flyer until after Lyu Xuan had left with the slightly flood-leaf coin.
Hello?
Handed over by West Flowing. Floodleaf? Jasper saw that the headline on the flyer read, What? The headline on the flyer read, Child uses remote control to operate crane and save injured person? The accompanying photo showed the Egret City cargo port with Jasper trapped in the cabin. This incident had occurred 6 months ago.
Oh, is this an anomalous flyer that shows news about whoever's holding it?
Ooh. That's nifty.
Secure, contain, protect.
Cinnabar saw a photo from just a few nights earlier, capturing a private meeting between him and West Flowing, where they were discussing the temple's secrets. So if you're holding it, you can show what you see to other people, but once you leave it behind and someone else picks it up, they see their photos? Interesting. Only in the distant future when they encountered a creature similar but far more dangerous than the one depicted in the flyer. But the trio grasped its significance. Information on the flyer could never be shared with anyone else. That's ominous as heck. I love it.
I will simply not worry about it.
Yeah. Okay. Yay. Let's go visit Gun.
We need to feed our gun. It's so hungry.
Yeah, it's been starving
There's just
for
a
so
guy
long.
there.
Hello, man. Hello. The Jiandai?
Chendai.
Jiandai district, abundant with factories and emerging high-tech parks, has attracted a diverse population across all ages. Proximity to Egret City, coupled with lower rental costs, makes it a popular residential choice for many commuters. Given the large potential customer base, it's natural for various restaurants and small service businesses to establish themselves here. Over time, these have coalesced into a mixed-use area known as Jiandai Night City. However, this zone, bustling and unchecked, has become infamous for its illegal constructions. Buildings stack haphazardly, creating a maze-like structure that provides a perfect hideaway for those on the fringes of legality. Oh, it's Dagwan Yuan. Oh, I'm almost there. Oh, jeez.
Almost there. Get ready.
Got it.
Get ready for Freddy.
You ready for Freddy? Among those figures was Lyu Xuan's former colleague, a logistics worker who occasionally pilfered small items, accumulating a significant stash by retirement. Of course, the agency normally maintained strict control over dangerous items like bullets. However, the newly appointed leader quietly made an exception, recognizing that the lengthy approval process for field operatives could delay crucial operations. However, he is cautious about causing any trouble, so he only permits transactions with someone like Lyu Xuan, who is well known and trusted with the agency. Nonetheless, whenever there's a loophole, there are always those ready to exploit it for quick profit. Lyu Xuan arrived at her former colleague's aging apartment building. A wall of rusty, dust-covered iron mailboxes stood in the hallway, a relic perfectly suited for concealing their secret transactions. She used a spare key to open mailbox number 307 and found a cardboard box inside, which she briefly weighed to confirm contained exactly 80 bullets. Lyu Xuan then placed a paper bag with 6,400 yuan inside the mailbox, paying about 10 times the normal price for the ammunition. Oh. After putting away her phone. Yeah. Lyu Xuan glanced up at the third floor of the building where her former colleague lived, noting the tightly closed curtains. Transaction complete. So now we can go to Golden Apex. It is indeed gold. In novels, depicting a wealthy character as constructing an entirely gold-clad skyscraper to flaunt his mighty wealth might seem cliché and lacking in imagination to readers. However, the Golden Apex Tower is indeed a real building whose exterior is entirely golden. Rising 30 stories high and covering over 4,000 square meters, it stands out like a colossal gold bar on the city's skyline. Lyu Xuan was driving along the main thoroughfare in the Lake Center district, and from a distance she could already see the striking Golden Apex Tower, in contrast to the surrounding, more subtle, more subdued high-rises. Like other residents of Egret City, she was somewhat familiar with the building, knowing that 1/3 of its floors were rented out as office spaces, while the remainder operated as a hotel. Oh.
That's really mundane!
Yeah. Just random offices. Approaching the tower, Lyu Xuan steered her car to one of the temporary parking spaces located in front of the building's grand entrance.
I'm on the entrance gate. I'm on it.
I'm on it. Go to the back gate. Pull straight to the front gate. There's an underground parking lot. You can wait for me on the entrance. Don't get in. Keep your rear door open. Don't turn the engine off.
This is a really weird date meetup.
Okay. Lyu Xuan put down her phone, turned the car around, and couldn't help but smile. She got this message from Su Lingxi, and it brought back a sense of being on the job. Though her work often involved extreme challenges and unpredictable risks, she truly enjoyed it.
小白，来前面坐。
While speaking, Lyu Xuan patted the passenger seat and Palia nimbly moved into
走
position.
进去一点。
She pointed to the area under the passenger seat, and Palia obediently lay down with its upper body facing the back of the seat, tucking its lower body into the gap. Good girl. Palian's smooth movement surprised Lyu Xuan, causing her to pause for a moment. Perhaps Palian really understood her. Maybe he could even speak to her. Lyu Xuan snapped out of her thoughts, realizing that picking up Su Lingxi was urgent. If Su really had the extensive abilities that West-Flowing mentioned, then all of her questions might be answered soon. Lyu Xuan quickly arrived at the location Su Lingxi had mentioned. She parked the car, unbuckled her seatbelt, and leaned over to open the back door. That moment, a car's headlights lit up the mottled glass of the security booth in the underground parking garage. She turned to the driver's seat and turned to see a deep blue Maybach sedan ascending the exit ramp of the parking garage, still some distance from the automatic barrier. Suddenly, the rear door of the vehicle opened, and a teenage girl about 17 or 18 years old jumped out. Holding her bag, she looked around anxiously as she ran out of the parking garage. Lyu Xuan had already rolled down her window and quickly extended her left hand to greet the girl. right hand busied itself with fastening her seatbelt. Seeing her gesture, Su Lingxi quickly intercepts toward the car, while the Maybach's driver, unable to wait for the barrier to open, exited his vehicle and started to give chase.
对方是成年男性，这个距离，苏林熙会被追上。
Huh. Reacting swiftly, Lyu Xuan pressed down the accelerator, moving closer to Su Lingxi, swung the car around to face the man, flashing her headlights twice. The driver, just emerging from the dimly lit underground parking garage, and not yet adjusted to the outdoor light, instinctively shielded his eyes from the sudden brightness. That moment, Su Lingxi scrambled into the back seat, but in her haste, she stumbled and fell onto the seat.
快开车！
We are literally busting her out of this shit, aren't we?
Sure are.
I am curious. Lyu Xuan shifted into reverse, backed up quickly, then spun the car around, the rear door slamming shut from the motion. The car now facing the main road, Lyu Xuan shifted to drive and stepped on the gas, leaving the man who was chasing Su Lingxi behind in the rearview mirror. Su Lingxi lay back on the seat, kicking her legs up joyfully, seemingly oblivious to the fact that she was wearing a skirt. Then she sat up straight and placed her hand on Lyu Xuan's shoulder.
看了你的照片之后，我就知道你肯定靠谱。
Oh, her hair clips little skulls.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Dale. Hello.
Hi, Dale. Yuri.
Yeah. Green. How are we doing, Dale? What were we playing? How's stream?
Are you winning?
Are you winning, Dale? How is stream? We are,
Did you win the stream?
Did you win? At the pond. Oh. We are possibly winning. We are either saving a girl from being pursued by, kidnappers, or we are just, busting her out of her, chaperone.
Consequences.
Yeah. Or chaperone or consequences or something. It's hard to say. But yes. Feel free to chill out, hang out, lurk. Enjoy some more girls. Hope stream went well. Take care. Take care. Hydrate before you dehydrate.
只看照片就能明白了。
I got the gold one in Overwatch and then got my ass beaten to fight a game. Oh no.
Oh no.
Now I have to ask which fighting game. Su Lingxi didn't answer Lyu Xuan's question directly, instead lowering her voice.
你认识苏征吗？
Su Zheng. Su Lingxi, Su Zheng. Family?
Did we kidnap her in front of her dad?
Su Lingxi's sudden shift in mood from laughter to seriousness made Lyu Xuan instinctively start to probe her, and able to quickly understand Su Lingxi's psychological state. Grand Blue. Ooh.
谁？听着像你家人的名字。
你认识他？刘星怎么敢介绍认识苏征的人来帮我？
Okay, who?
How could you logically determine that?
Yeah. Su Lingxi recoiled, attempting to open the car door in a panic, but it was locked automatically. Frustrated, she turned to Lyu Xuan.
让我下车！
你冷静点，我不认识你说的苏征。
Lyu Xuan noticed Su Lingxi's discomfort through the rearview mirror. She was huddled against the backrest, arms wrapped around herself. It might have been an illusion, but Lyu Xuan thought she saw Su Lingxi's sleeves and gloves undulating like waves.
我不认识。玄龟也跟我说了你的故事，所以我们才需要见面。
You wouldn't
我
know
应该不
him.
认识。
Sad puppy face. Su Lingxi blinked, her lips moving slightly as she maintained eye contact with Lyu Xuan through the
我
mirror.
要你看着我说你不认识苏征，你不是替他来监视我的人。
With a reaction like that, I feels like a serious escaping family thing. At a second thought, Lyu Xuan pulled the car over to a parking spot on the side of the road, hit the brakes, and turned fully to face Su Lingxi. She even leaned forward to ensure a direct eye
我
contact.
不认识苏征， 我不是替他来监视你的人，你到底经历了什么？
Good question. Su Lingxi averted
And
her
she
gaze.
is of legal age, right? Because the protagonist is 27. She just looks young, right?
This is the second time it has described her as 17, 18.
She just looks young, right?
Teenage girl about 17 and 18 years old jumped out.
She just looks young, right?
好，我相信你。
Picking you up and
I'm
throwing
being
you.
tossed.
Hang on, this can be arranged. Wee, wee, wee. You are being tossed.
Lilac, we don't know if it's toxic yet.
Wee. Boing, 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 boing. There we go. Freya was tossed.
Thank you.
Pelian was facing Su Lingxi, but showed no signs of alarm. It kept its eyes on her. Su Lingxi glanced at Pelian briefly, seemingly losing interest, and continued talking to Lyu Xuan.
我有很多话要说，而且还有，总之，先找个没人的地方吧。
Just as Lyu Xuan was about to respond, Su Lingxi's phone started ringing urgently, prompting her to answer it.
喂，我没什么事，晚点就回去，跟他说别管。
It seems Su Lingxi set her tone and ended the call before the other person could speak. I sure hope you have an umbrella for making it rain, lamp.
Yeah.
你去哪儿？
Normally, Lyu Xuan might suggest discussing matters in the car, but she recognized that Su Lingxi's request for mutual assistance was not typical. Here is our bank balance, lamp. Look at how much currency we have. We're not sure what kind of currency it is yet, but it is significant.
It is approximately 14 billion United States dollars.
It put through several conversions. Needed a more secure space.
去我家吧，带着他，不好在外面乱逛。
好呀，正好看看这几天住的地方长什么样。
Oh no, roommate. Can't take it alone.
Oh my god, they were roommates.
Seeing Su Lingxi's smiling face, Lyu Xuan began to understand why her mood could change so quickly, prompting her to ask another
你不
question.
回家？
回
We
家
don't know how to convert this into cash.
可我就是
Right.
从那逃出来的。要再回去的时候，
We
只
know
能是我。
we know how to convert currency into our bank, our black hole hand bank. We don't know how to convert it into spendable funds. Su Lingxi spoke with a vacant look, unsure of what it would take for her to feel safe to return home. She glanced at Lyu Xuan, but her gaze drifted to her
苏
hands.
珍正好不在路程，我才找到机会出来的。姐姐，我要你在这段时间里和我一起解决所有事情。
原来如此，那你不是逃出来，而是要直面他们。
As Lyu Xuan voiced this realization, Su Lingxi saw a vision of her future, free from the nightmares that had plagued her since birth, soon to be eradicated.
对，你说的对，我没有逃避过。
While Lyu Xuan, ever cautious and skeptical, knew exactly what Su Lingxi needed to hear, she also understood that this was not merely about deception or applying learned techniques mechanically. Motivated by an innate impulse, bees are drawn irresistibly to boldly blooming flowers. Lyu Xuan hoped to encourage the girl to fully disclose her experiences, motivated also by their mutual promise to help each other.
好好聊聊吧。
The narration seems a lot more novel-like in this one, more third-person omniscient.
Yeah.
Wonder why that is.
姐姐住的地方还挺不错的嘛。
Lingxi, completely at ease, walked around the living room a couple of times before settling down on the sofa, the very spot where Lyu Xuan had woken up.
看样子应该有钱换一辆车吧？你开的那辆感觉有点旧，而且后座好挤。
Okay, rich
我
girl.
大多数时候不住这里，车也很少用，就没必要换了。 不过跟你做的比起来，可能也就火车不算挤了。
是吗？我也不太坐别人的车，偶尔出门也要被那个司机盯着，只能坐那辆。
Yeah.
那
Well,
废
she's
话
got a
也说得够
chauffeur.
多了，谈正事吧
That's。probably who we flashbanged.
Whoops.
Sorry, buddy. Oh, hi. So, Lamp, here's our pet. Su Lingxi pointed at Palian, who was squatting beside Lyu Xuan, sniffing around curiously.
They're a fluffy doggo.
Yeah. Like, the name Palian in the original Chinese translation, what's it equate to, like, little white?
Small white.
Small white. So it's... Palian is essentially the equivalent of Snowball. You better feed them regularly. We do.
先告诉我，它是什么？
这是要你来帮我
What
搞
do
清
they
楚
eat?
的。
Yeah.
还有，
Is it just cat food?
Possibly. Liu Xuan removed her gloves to show Su Lingxi the hole in her
凌晨的
palm.
时候，我手心出现了
No
这个
whole
东
first
西，
date.
里面会冒出一些黑色的线条，然后变成数字。
Showing
最开
numbers.
始的时候是1亿，后来有个怪物跑进这里，从我这里夺走了400万的数字。然后我逃到别的地方时，小白突然出现，把那个怪物吃掉了。这之后，他就一直跟着我。
Yep, that's a succinct summary of the
这
first
是玄龟找
few
到我，
hours.
带我和刘希见面。他们推荐我来见你，说你能帮我搞清楚到底发生了什么。
Su Lingxi nodded thoughtfully, her arms crossed in front of her, and then she spoke.
怎么说呢？姐姐你真挺厉害的，半天的时间碰上这么多事，看起来就算
Oops,
想
sorry.
安慰你都没什么可说的了。不过看到你手
Maybe
上的
Paleon
肉
emits
一时
some
还以
kind
为
of
你跟我是
calming
同类的。
substance?
That is true. Pet the good girl and be comforted. We know that Paleon's slobber has healing properties.
Yeah.
Well, whoa. Oh.
My god, it's auto mail.
Well. Su Lingxi then removed her coat and rolled up the sleeves of her lighter, silkier gloves, different from Lyu Xuan's leather ones, and spread her arms out for Lyu Xuan to see. Her arms were covered in a semi-transparent, gel-like substance that mimicked the appearance of muscles and skin, revealing the bones beneath.
Skeleton.
Automail. Su Lingxi flexed her fingers, and Lyu Xuan felt an intense discomfort watching her phalanges curl into a fist. Normally, the movement of bones when making a fist is hidden by skin and muscle, making it less unsettling. Seeing the bones exposed like this can create a visceral reaction, similar to the unease one might feel when pressing a hand against their chest and feeling the heartbeat, a stark reminder of life's fragility. However, what truly unnerved Lyu Xuan was not just this bizarre appearance, but a deeper, more fundamental sense of dislocation.
你现在是什么感觉？会痛吗？为什么会变成这样？等一下，我想问的不是原因，而是
It is just your arms, right?
That is so cool.
Lyu Xuan buried her face in her hands. Peeking through her fingers, she got a glimpse of Palion stretching its jaws wide open. Startled, she looked away, the eerie image of a dead wood. When the storm, flashing vividly in her mind, wasn't ready to accept the reality of supernatural phenomena invading the world she thought she knew so well, realization loomed like an insurmountable wall blocking her from comprehending this new truth. Profession demanded that she solve problems early, ensuring there were no significant deviations from the plan. Failure to do so could bring consequences too devastating to imagine. But now she felt something deeper than mere ignorance, an all-consuming fear. Gnawing doubt crept into her thoughts, making her question whether anything she believed in could still be trusted. She let her hands
Her
fall to her
hands are
lap.
bones and she still decorates herself with skulls.
Real!
Dedication.
Dedicated to the aesthetic. Let her hands fall to her lap, leaning back against the sofa. A trace of exhaustion softened her otherwise composed
没
demeanor.
什么，你继续说吧。
Soothing, she rolled down her sleeve, slipped on her coat, pulled on her gloves.
姐姐，你调整心情的速度真够快的。刚看你的样子，还以为情绪要起来了。
就算按你说的，一边哭一边叫， 然后在地上打滚也没用吧？你能查到我想知道的事，具体是怎么做的？
要说原理的话，我自己也不清楚，但的确能做到，只要你乖乖待着别动就行。
Can do what?
那我知道了，你先
等一下，
怎么了？
Soothing, she tilted her head slightly, her brow furrowed. The overwhelming confidence in her eyes moments ago seemed to
我
falter.
不说你肯定也能猜到，我家的情况很复杂。
Fair?
Yeah, we figured.
Yeah. Lyu Xuan nodded thoughtfully. Soothing, she had just mentioned she was born this way. What must her parents have thought when she arrived? And how had they managed to navigate the challenges of raising
我
her?
家里只剩老爸一个人，他从小就告诉我，手臂的情况是因为生了病，让我待在家里，还找了那个司机盯着我，怕我乱跑被外人看见。
Ah.
这些我倒是不介意，毕竟金井大厦整栋楼都是我家的，而且我住的那个楼层外人也到不了，生活还算自由。
Penthouse
慢慢
girl.
长大之后，我也知道我爸说的手臂生病就是胡扯，但不管我怎么问，他都坚称是生病了。但他也知道我不会把手臂的事情到处乱说，最后同意在那个司机跟着的前提下，我可以出门。
Though Soothing, she hadn't explicitly stated her true intentions. Lyu Xuan could read between the lines. It wasn't hard to piece together what she was after.
按灵犀的说法，之前在车上提到的那个苏征，就是他的父亲吧？你想用自己的能力去调查你爸，借此知道自己手臂的真相吧？那这么说，你的能力肯定还有别的限制吧？否则你早就对你爸动手了。
Your ability.
姐姐很聪明嘛，对相同的目标，
ability
我的能力只能生效一次。
That's like a Gios.
Ah.
而我爸早在我小的时候就骗我对它使用过了。
Oh.
那这件事的性质就有些……
虽然我确实想知道手臂是
Gios
什么
like from
情况
Code Geass, not the
但还
Irish
有更
thing.
重要的事。
Yeah. Soothing, she suddenly began coughing as she tried to continue, waving her hand in front of her face.
怎么好像有灰尘飘来飘去的？
Lyu Xuan coughed as well, feeling her throat grow scratchy.
我之
What?
前出差3个月，昨天才刚回来，
Oh,
可能有
just
些灰
dust.
尘了。
Apparently, as if trying to be helpful, lumbered over and gave Lyu Xuan's hands a slow, slobbery lick. Thank you, girl.
哇，那你们物业还挺靠谱的，3个月不在家，打扫这么干净。
No, that was the, crab coin.
说回正事，我一直在找机会调查我爸。他注意到我的想法之后，越来越提防我，根本找不到机会。
你的意思是，觉得苏征为了对付你，专门采取了某些措施？
Su Lingxi's expression shifted in anxious tension, tightening her features.
有，
Yes. Leaned in, her voice growing sharper as she continued.
他作为这么大一个公司的老板，没有秘书，没有司机，我甚至找不到人来问问他工作之外在做什么。跟我也很少见面，基本都是通过电话或者那个盯着我的司机来联系，甚至我住的楼层都无法直接前往他住的地方。
No direct way to... Whoa, so you're not in the penthouse.
听起来他跟你十分疏离，的确不是正常的父女关系。除此之外，只是个工作习惯比较特别，而且很努力的人而已吧。
Su Lingxi's
He's
brows.
doing research on his own?
Entirely possible. Just like, keep her out of things while I try and find her solution on my own.
还有我刚才说的，我妈早就去世了，我也从来没见过他们那边的亲戚。我爸那边的倒是见过几个，但都是来蹭钱的，不太熟悉。
Ah.
而且我感觉他在提防我的时候显得很有经验，还能立刻堵上我发现的破绽。虽然我的能力帮家里赚了很多钱，我爸肯定还需要我，但是这让我很不安。我担心是不是妈妈和外婆都有跟我类似的能力，然后就……
To be clear, we haven't actually gotten a clear explanation of what her ability is, have we?
Yeah.
So we just know she has it. It has, like, Code Geass like limitations.
It only works once per person.
And it brings in a lot of money. Dad is having her use it to bring in money. Lyu Xuan couldn't help but interrupt with a light
最后
call.
还是得叫物业再来打扫一下。
Dusty glanced down and nudged Pelion gently away from her lap. Its eager licking had left her gloves damp.
我明白你的意思，以你的立场，会感觉到害怕也很正常。但是你现在还没有遭受到任何实质上的伤害吧？
那非要等到我出事了，跟我妈他们一样不知所踪了，才算得上实质的伤害吗？
Oh.
Oh no. Soothing She's voice grew tense. Late at night, when silence filled the air, she often found herself staring at her strange arms. Her thoughts inevitably drifted to her indifferent father and the looming danger of a puzzle she couldn't solve. A threat that could strike without warning. Lyu Xuan couldn't claim to fully understand the depth of Soothing She's anxiety, or the fear that consumed her. Nor could she offer any clear evidence to convince Soothing She that her father wouldn't harm her. Those uncertainties didn't mean the question should be ignored.
冷静一点，我会帮你的。
Placed a
Calm
reassuring
down.
hand on Soothing She's shoulder.
就算最后证明你爸没什么问题也无妨，至少你不用再提心吊胆了。而且，就是要我处理完这件事情，你才会帮我吧？
Soothing She nodded, composure returning quickly. Seeing that, Lyu Xuan withdrew her hand from Soothing She's
我
shoulder.
现在不知道该从何入手。在我看来，他已经做得万无一失了。但从你的角度来看，或许还有什么破绽。正好现在只有我能帮助你，我们可以靠交易的形式互相信任。所以，我不想放过这个机会。
Her words left Lyu Xuan deep in thought. Soothing She, the sheltered princess with a tinge of paranoia, didn't even seem certain about what she truly wanted to achieve. Did she want to uncover the mystery behind her arms? Did she seek the truth about her mother's disappearance? Was she simply desperate to prove that her father never intended to harm her? These unclear goals could easily create obstacles, but for Lyu Xuan, they might also present an
我
advantage.
可以帮你，但你也要明白，无论是从法律还是从生命安全的角度来说，我可能都要承担巨大的风险。
We do this
所
cautiously.
以，不管最终结果如何，你都要帮我查清楚我想知道的事。
我能理解。
Soothing She clasped her hands tightly against her chest, her gaze steady and unwavering as she looked into Lyu Xuan's
我
eyes.
相信你。那接下来要做什么？
我心里有数。
To address Soothing She's problem, Lyu Xuan needed to visit West Flowing's shop. She knew they would have the products suited for the situation at hand.
总之，先上车出门吧。
Ooh. Soothing She nodded and followed Lyu Xuan to the door. Her gaze lingered on the dark silhouette of Lyu Xuan's back, but in her heart, she held an expectation for light. I should have been the one to bring your soul to light. Lyu Xuan didn't head directly to the Golden Apex Tower to investigate Su Zheng with Soothing She. Instead, she made a detour, taking her to West Flowing's shop first.
刘希一直想等你走投无路的时候和你做交易，估计早就准备好了能帮你解决问题的东西。这回就去给他要过来吧。
他不会白白给我们吧？
没事儿，他就算要钱，也是找我要。
Worth it. Cinnabar sat in his usual spot, a new book in hand. Glanced up briefly to confirm who had entered, then lowered his gaze back to the pages.
怎么又来了？这回还带了个被关在城堡里的小公主啊！
姐
We
姐，
missed you too, Cinnabar.
Yeah.
是在讽刺我吗？
He's a sweetheart, I promise. Lyu Xuan couldn't hold back a laugh. The metaphor wasn't entirely wrong, and she found it amusing.
我们来找刘希，他在吗？进去吧，直观往帘子后面走，自然就会到。
Lyu Xuan moved toward the curtain, lifting it effortlessly. Soothing She followed close behind, pausing just long enough to feign a playful punch at Cinnabar. Cinnabar didn't flinch. Instead, he gave her a puzzled look, shaking his head as if silently declaring her more childish than he was. This only irritated Soothing She further, and she half raised her fist in mock indignation. Before she could escalate the scene, Lyu Xuan tugged gently at the corner of her sleeve. Reluctantly soothing, she let the matter drop and fell in step behind her. As they walked, soothing, she noticed the fleeting touch on her sleeve and couldn't help but ask.
姐姐，你是不是不敢碰我的手？
Oh, is this a... Indeed, Lyu Xuan had instinctively reached for Soothing She's wrist but hesitated at the last second, opting to grab her sleeve
你
instead.
的手看起来很容易散，我怕碰坏了。
怎么会？
Oh.
姐姐你好可爱啊！
With a cheerful smile, Soothing She extended her hands and grabbed Lyu Xuan's arm.
我的手臂没看起来的那么软啦，隔着衣服的时候跟正常人的手臂一模一样。
I wonder if the hands are the key to her power.
Probably. That it's not harmful for her to touch things?
If I had to take a stab in the dark and take a guess here, based on her dad being a businessman type. Handshake. Skin to skin handshake. Triggers it.
是啊，
Lyu Xuan felt the coldness of Soothing She's touch, a chill that sent a shiver through her. She opened her mouth to say something but decided against it, following her instincts to stay silent. Lyu Xuan explained Soothing She's situation and laid out her plan to Jasper, who had been listening from the shadowy depths of the room. She nodded thoughtfully before clearing her throat with a light cough.
原来如此，那么老板怎么说？
Lyu Xuan deliberately kept her gaze fixed on the window of the counter, trying to catch a glimpse of when those pale arms would appear. Before she could even blink, the arms materialized right in front of her, almost as if they had been waiting.
怎么回事？从哪冒出来的？
不知道，故意躲着我们吧。
The coiled serpent statue was slowly drawn from the darkness, accompanied by a glass bottle filled with murky liquid and an injector. Jasper nodded repeatedly, confirming something in his mind before speaking.
原
Ah,
来是这样，的确是只有苏大小姐能用的东西啊。
time to make a withdrawal?
解释一下，
苏大小姐按照平时使用能力的方式去控制手臂胶质，
You can manipulate the arm's colloid to help.
然后
Colloid
在
is
这个
like
状态
the
下，
bone,
我会
right?
抽取一些
I
胶质，
believe
注入
so.
玻璃瓶的液体中，再把液体倒到地图上。
Bone-like substance, right?
Right. Next up, the colloid mixed with liquid in this bottle, pour it onto a map.
这样就能找到跟苏大小姐的手臂有血缘关系的东西在哪啦。等等，你这意思是，路程里还有跟我的手臂一样的东西？老板知道苏大小姐的诉求是调查自己的真相，所以这个东西自然能达到这个目的。但实现起来会是什么样的，我也不知道了。
你们这样也能有客人来吗？
At this, Jasper raised an eyebrow, her face filled with pride.
那当然，我们的客人络绎不绝呀。我相信，等你看到效果之后，也会再来光顾的。
Oh. When marketing her products, Jasper's expression suddenly shifted from her usual calm demeanor to something more persuasive. A shift that reminded Lyu Xuan of the moment when she handed over the coin.
那开始吧，要我先付钱的对吧？
对，把手放到雕像上就行啦。
Oof. Or, oh, that's not too expensive, considering.
I don't want to get blood over,
Lyu Xuan placed her hands in the statue and braced herself for whatever was coming. This time, however, she didn't feel any pain. Instead, the blood-red coin spilled out of the serpent's mouth.
好啦，这次只要15万，很便宜的。
A real bargain.
姐姐怎么样？会痛吗？
Lyu Xuan shook her head, confirming that the number in her hands had changed.
这15万，我之后用现金补给你吧。
不需要，你只要履行我们的约定就行。
而且要用现金补的话，可不止15万呢。
Yep, in cash, it's worth far more than 150,000. Jasper chuckled and brought the injector and the bottle over to Su Lingxi.
准备好了吗？
Su Lingxi nodded and removed her gloves, extending her right arm towards Jasper. Ooh, ooh.
Ugh.
Ooh, that looks more concerning for this from this angle. The hesitation.
Is it into the bone?
It feels like it.
Really bad.
Yeah. The hesitation, Jasper pierced the needle and the injector into her arm. The needle was clearly visible through the transparent surface of her arm. Pulled the piston, extracting about 5 millimeters of colloid from
会
her.
痛吗？
一点点，没关系。
Jasper quickly injected the colloid into the glass bottle. Murky liquid inside began to swirl as if it were alive. Seconds later, it transformed into a thick red liquid and settled into stillness.
哦，好像成功了，还好还好。
There's a chance it wouldn't?
原来你是第一次弄啊！
As they spoke,
Good job, Jasper.
a map of Egret City slid into view through West Floan's counter window. Jasper carefully poured the red liquid onto the map and gestured for Lyu Xuan and Su Lingxi to come closer. Impressively well done blood draw. Oh. Tilting her head, Lyu Xuan noticed a golden radiance emanating from the red liquid drops as they began to move slowly across the map.
这东西是活的吗？
Oh. Liquid meandered across the map, its glowing trail stretching over the entirety of Egret City. Several locations left behind distinct red drops, marking them on the map. While some locations are marked with water spots.
这是说，整个城市到处都有跟我手臂一样的。
A lot of strange things here.
感觉有点恐怖啊！
地图上液体的多寡代表了数量。
稍等一下，哦，老板说是的。
The liquid's journey came to an end, pooling heavily around the golden apex tower on the map. The glowing puddle there was significantly larger than at any other location. Okay, shady stuff is happening there.
有这么多就聚集在金井大厦，就在我住的地方。
应该是这样，但你居然不知道。
我说过他有很多行为是在提防我吧，但金井里只有一个地方我去不了。如果真的有跟我手臂一样的东西藏着，那他们肯定就在那儿。
Her gaze remained fixed on the glowing liquid, determination evident.
姐姐，那我们的目标很明确了，去苏珍的房间吧。
先去看看吧。
看来很满意呢。我说的话没错吧，李璇？
Good job, Jasper. Lyu Xuan placed her hand gently on Jasper's head, tapping lightly. The unexpected gesture caught Jasper off guard, leaving her uncharacteristically
The
shy.
unexpected Jasper.
Oh, no one expects the unexpected Jasper. Leaving her uncharacteristically shy and momentarily speechless. Usual liveliness seemed to
那我们
vanish.
走了。
Oh. Jasper nodded, regaining her composure as she waved them off.
欢迎下次光临。
Where to? Oh.
Oh no, it's raining.
Oh no. Bad news bears.
Tree monster's gonna hit our windowsill.
Oh. I need a lift. The big patter. Did we bring our dog with us? The big patter of raindrops on the car's windshield and hood brought Lyu Xuan a rare sense of calm. She and Su Lingxi sat silently in the car, their gaze fixed on the golden apex tower in the distance. They waited patiently for the moment when all its lights would turn off. Or were we just breaking straight in?
Do you think Paleon is afraid of fireworks?
Oh. Su Lingxi rested her chin in her hands, glancing at her reflection in the rearview mirror. Her cheek was still damp from the rain that had been swept onto her face by the gusting wind earlier.
看天气预报，这几天有台风要来了。事到如今，我还真有点怀疑，台风是不是什么怪物掀起的？
你的家教不负责地理吗？
开个玩笑嘛。
Playful nudge of her elbow against Lyu Xuan. Soothing, she protested lightly, her expression relaxed.
你以前去过苏征的房间吧？怎么样？
只在白天去过，晚上还是头一回。金井大厦灯关了之后怪吓人的，我一个人可不敢打着手电筒在里边逛来逛去。
那有翻到什么东西吗？保险箱之类的？
保险箱是有，也有很多上锁的抽屉。保险柜太复杂了，我搞不定。但
你会撬锁？啊，不对，是你的手能对锁做点什么，对吧？
姐姐很聪明嘛，一会儿你就有的看了。
Oh, okay.
再好好期待一下。看起来楼上的灯都灭了，出发吧。
The underground parking lot beneath the Golden Apex Tower. I don't want to keep saying Golden Apple. Was fast.
We love the golden apple, our public. I forgot you don't play Genshin.
Yeah.
I forgot that you are free of sin.
Mostly. Divided into two sections. One was for guests with elevators leading to the Golden Apex Hotel. The other where they were headed was a private lot with elevators granting access to the office area of the building. Its private entrances required a staff card or prior access approval, neither of which Lyu Xuan or Soothing she possessed. Lyu Xuan stopped the car in front of the gate and waited. After a moment, the security guard, noticing that no access card had been scanned, stepped out of his post to investigate. Muttering under his breath, he approached the driver's side window. As he neared the window on the passenger side began to lower, and Soothing she leaned out, face calm and poised. We must break dawn, Genshin, oh no.
No.
The security guard froze, startled. Then recognition dawned, and he quickly turned back to his post, fumbling to open the gate. Oh no, she geeced him.
是啊，老爸让大厦各个出口的保安都记着我长什么样。好在我出入的时候能立刻汇报给盯着我的司机。
Oh, so we're now on a time limit? What Soothing she said left Lyu Xuan momentarily speechless. What she meant as a light-hearted remark now carried a heavy weight. She imagined what it must feel like to live under such tight surveillance, locked away in a gilded cage.
Literally gilded.
Literally. The whole building is gilded. The gate opened smoothly and Lyu Xuan drove into the parking lot. Her sharp eyes caught sight of the security guard making a call on his phone as they passed. Seemed Soothing she's earlier explanation was correct. It's likely reporting their arrival to her father's driver.
林夕，我一定会帮你解决这些事的。
姐姐不用这样啦，我知道你在想什么。不过我也没那么可怜，毕竟日子过得比我惨的人多的是。我知道自己已经很幸运了。
Oh, we're not here to compare.
She's a good girl.
Yeah. Lyu Xuan parked the car and pulled the
但这
handbrake.
也不意味着你的困境就不算困境。
Ah.
走吧。
Yeah.
Two stepped out of the car, leaving Pelian in the back seat. Lyu Xuan rolled down a window to let the air circulate. Don't worry about my pet dog. The air is on. And she's
They're listening to their favorite music.
Yes.
你在这里待着，不要乱跑。
Pelian tilted its head slightly, adjusting its hood, or curling up into a ball on the seat.
感觉他越来越听话了。
Really? Comment gave Lyu Xuan pause.
No one minds our human pet.
Yeah. Considered rewarding Pelian for its obedience, but hesitated, realizing she couldn't simply pat its head like she would a dog. The thought made her stop short.
他要是不听话，我可就麻烦大了。
Still, she hesitated. Was it really okay to leave Pelian alone in the car? What if something dangerous happened now? Would she protect Soothing she on her own? Glanced back at Pelian, watching its red hood shift slightly as it adjusted itself. Lost in thought, she finally sighed and made up her mind. The three of them entered the elevator together, Pelian now wrapped in a coat to stay concealed. Soothing, she pressed the button for the 29th floor.
Oh Christ, that's high.
Wow. Heavy echoes.
他的居住区，平时只有需要开会的时候，走后才会解锁30楼的按钮。
This elevator is really echoey. Coughed lightly and tested her theory by pressing the button for the 30th floor. Nothing happened.
但是出于安全考虑，楼梯还是留着了。我们就从29楼过去。
Oh, it's the game. I thought it was my neighbors.
Oh no! The elevator ascended quietly. Its mechanism is almost soundless. The confined space encouraged silence between them. As the floor numbers ticked upward on the screen, their tension grew. Lyu Xuan felt a surge of relief knowing she had brought Palian with her. Before they could fully brace themselves as the tension peaked, the elevator arrived at the 29th floor with a loud chime. You are now arriving at floor 29. The corridor beyond the elevator doors was dimly lit, the faint light barely illuminating the patterned carpet that stretched into shadowy darkness. Lyu Xuan quickly understood why Su Lingxi had found this place unnerving at night. Outside the glass walls, the rain lashed against the building with relentless force, accompanied by the sharp whistle of wind that seemed unique to towering structures. The oppressive atmosphere made Su Lingxi clutch Lyu Xuan's arm tightly, her breathing growing rapid and uneven. Your voice would absolutely be a fancy elevator voice for floors.
Yeah.
Now arriving at floor 29. Please stay back as the doors open. Palian stepped out first, and it dropped to all fours, adapting its gait to move more naturally. Seeing this, Lyu Xuan decided not to force Palian to mimic human behavior any longer. Being caught on surveillance cameras was a risk, but she'd much rather have Palian scout ahead, prepared to detect and deal with any potential threats around.
没事吧？
说实话，我有点怕黑。小时候睡的床很大，天花板又很高，灯关了之后，感觉自己独自一人躺在又黑又空旷的地方，真的很害怕。
Child! Hearing this, Lyu Xuan tilted her head to gently press it against Su Lingxi's, offering quiet reassurance.
其他时候我不敢保证，但至少现在，我会一直在你身边的。
Aww.
好。
Lyu Xuan had hoped her words would ease Su Lingxi's nerves, but instead, Su Lingxi clung to her arm even tighter. Resigned, Lyu Xuan turned on her flashlight she had prepared earlier and led Su Lingxi into the darkness.
你知道楼梯间的方向吗？
一直往前走，然后左拐就看到了。
Lyu Xuan shone the flashlight in the direction Su Lingxi indicated. As she did, a peculiar smell caught her attention, faint as first, but growing stronger with each step. At first, Lyu Xuan thought it might be fresh paint, sharp but not entirely unpleasant. However, as they approached the corner, the smell became more complex, a mixture that gave her pause. Lyu Xuan instinctively reached into her pocket, intending to use the perfume to mask the scent on her body.
我平时会把它带在身上。
Hello everyone, hello twin! You're about to be very lost by what's happening. Just let out a breath, forcing your thoughts back to the present moment. This is true.
姐姐，你看那边。
What is this? Pinching her nose, Su Lingxi pointed to the floor. Lyu Xuan directed the flashlight to where Su Lingxi gestured. Saw faint drag marks marring the carpet. Handling the flashlight to Su Lingxi, she crouched down and touched the trail with her fingertips.
有一些湿度，但不至于能挤出液体，可能已经干了一阵子了。
Concerning. She raised her fingers to her nose and immediately recognized the same strange odor.
不太对劲，小心点吧。
Is it the driftwood man? The corridor seemed endless under the dim light, but it wasn't long before they reached the corner. To their unease, the strange trail continued in the same direction they were heading. Lyu Xuan motioned for Su Lingxi to stay silent and retrieve the flashlight. With her other hand, she drew a pistol, disengaging the safety.
手电筒还是开着吧，比起因为灯光暴露位置，还是什么都看不见更麻烦。
She slowed her steps, leading the way cautiously. The rain and wind outside began to fade, replaced by the unsettling sound of bubbling liquid. Soft at first, but gradually louder. Then came the odor again, stronger and more suffocating. This time it was unmistakably chemical, with an additional undertone that was deeply unsettling. Oh, we're about to get attacked.
Oh boy.
Holding her breath, Lyu Xuan rounded the corner with her pistol raised, aiming at whatever might lie ahead. The flashlight beam revealed only the staircase, with no immediate threats in sight. Relieved but still wary, she glanced back at Su Lingxi, who was gripping the edge of her coat for comfort. Together they pressed on. The further they climbed, the louder the bubbling grew. The more oppressive the smell became. Lyu Xuan began to worry that this could be poisonous gas. Poisonous! With only a few steps remaining, Lyu Xuan halted and leaned against the wall to minimize her blind spots. From position, she could just make out the security door to the 30th floor. The pungent odor still lingered heavily in the air, but aside from that, there were no immediate signs of danger. She handed the flashlight to Soothing Shi, gripping her pistol firmly with both hands.
跟我来，小心点。
The two moved cautiously toward the security door. This time, armed with the smell, Lyu Xuan began to hear faint, unfamiliar noises. She instinctively raised her arm, signaling Soothing Shi to stay behind her, and focused on pinpointing the source of the sound.
肯定有什么东西在门后面，但听不出来。离西，我后退。
怎么了？有什么情况吗？我什么也没看到啊。
I see a door. Whatever's happening is behind there. Soothing Shi's voice trembled as she clung to Lyu Xuan's arm, reluctant to move.
好像越来越近了。
什么东西？什么东西啊？
Lyu Xuan's eyes fixated on the doorknob, straining to decipher the strange noises emanating from the other side.
是水，不对，好近。
Water creature?
离西，后退。
Oh!
Ooh,
It's Flubber. Before she could finish,
friend.
yeah, green gelatinous liquid began to ooze through the cracks of the security door. The substance emanated an intense heat, with bubbles of various sizes forming and bursting across its writhing surface. It pulsated and squirmed as if something on the other side was forcing it through the narrow gaps.
这是什么？
你没见过吗？
没有。
When I found a gelatinous
我以前
QB
都是
tabag,
从
do
这
you
里
want a
过去
link?
的。
No. The liquid kept pounding against the iron door, attempting to break through. However, it lacked the force to smash it open. Instead, it managed to squeeze out fragments of itself, which fell to the floor in broken, steaming clumps. Soothing, she clutched Lyu Xuan's wrist tightly, breathing growing rapid and shallow. The rhythm of her panicked breaths mirrored the relentless popping of the liquid's bubbles. Recognizing that Soothing Shi was becoming overwhelmed, Lyu Xuan prepared to retreat. Just as she turned to guide Soothing Shi away, the liquid underwent a sudden transformation.
Oh god.
First gathered all of its tissues together, its surface transforming in an instant from rough, like concrete scored by a masonry blade, to a naturally smooth. At the same time, a thick column of smoke erupted upwards, surging straight to the ceiling. What is... Palian opened its mouth, its tail hanging limply toward the ground in a rare display of unease. The organs on either side of its head began flared to their full extent, signaling that it perceived the swirling cloud of smoke as far more dangerous than the viscous liquid
The
from
doggy's
earlier.
growling.
Oh yeah. Equivalent of baring her teeth. Oh, liquidated. Suspend them in flubber. The smoke above them began to shift, breaking free from its intangible state and gathered into a dense cloud above Lyu Xuan's head. Oh.
Oh, it grows teeth.
Teeth smoke. Expanding and collapsing in rhythmic waves, they wrought 2 rows of grotesque human-like teeth emerged from within the smoke, jagged and menacing. Lyu Xuan didn't have time to question why a creature that looked nothing like a human bore such teeth. Her eyes darted to the security door. The liquid had vanished. Stuff passed through the door by transforming into this smoke. Wherever it is, its hostility is undeniable. Lyu Xuan tightened her grip on her pistol, but hesitation flickered. Could a bullet even harm something as amorphous as smoke?
要马上把林夕带走。
Time to run. Turned towards Soothing Shi, only to find her unmoving. Soothing Shi stood rooted to the spot, as there was something in her mind to ask her to
林
stay.
夕，该走了。
Soothing Shi's heavy breathing came faster, her trembling pupils fixed on a monstrous cloud above them. Slowly her grip loosened, but her voice, though shaky, was
我
firm.
不能走。
We gotta pick her up and run.
Yes. Soothing, she left her gloves fall to the floor and rolled up her sleeves. Her translucent, gelatinous arms shimmered faintly as they were fully exposed to the air.
他守在30楼门前，还有着跟我手臂相似的变形特质。
我想要的真相，毫无疑问就是他。
Oh, that was fast.
Deformation. Words had barely left her mouth when the ominous smoke began to shift again. Droplets formed and fell, raining down like liquid fire. The entire cloud collapsed, crashed to the ground in a fluid cascade, pooled on the floor, sluggishly oozing back toward the security door as though retreating. Oh!
他这是
It recognized you? Lyu Xuan watched the fear and panic in Soothing Shi's eyes fade, replaced by a sharp, calculating focus. Breathing steadied and her expression hardened with determination. Confronted with the truth she's been seeking, Soothing Shi always shows an incredible resolve that moves Lyu Xuan.
林夕，现在是离开这里的好机会。你想怎么做？我想知道真相，我要推开这扇门。
Soothing Shi raised her hand. Trembling fingertips pushed through the gelatinous coating of translucent arms, brushing against the cold door. Lyu Xuan placed her hands on the door as well to help.
那来吧，我陪你去。
Oh, we're going in. Oh! Together they pushed with all their strength. The security door groaned as it scraped against the floor. The telescoping bar resisted, tugging against the frame as if the door itself were reluctant to yield. Lyu Xuan leaned her shoulder into the door, straining against it. It should have been easier, but something behind the door was pressing back with equal force.
小白，
Good dog. At her
Wow,
command,
wow.
Halion leaped back, giving itself space for running charge. With a burst of power, it lunged forward, slamming into the door like a battering ram. The impact forced the door open just enough. Lyu Xuan quickly steadied Soothing Shi, who had stumbled from the motion. The two rushed inside, flashlight raised to pierce the darkness ahead. The hallway was crammed with grotesque green gelatinous creatures. Holy shit.
Oh, jeez.
They clung to the ceiling, the walls, and the floor, forming a tunnel of writhing bodies.
Oh, God, several of them.
Oh, good lord.
Oh, bad.
Bad news bears. They're grinning. Their malformed faces twisted and bubbled in the flickering light, releasing an overpowering stench. Soothing, she instinctively held her breath, clutching Lyu Xuan's arms as the creatures shifted slightly toward them.
怎么回事？从最开始撞击安全门的力度来看，这些东西的动作不会这么迟缓。
姐姐，去那扇门。
That sure is a door. She pointed to a door stood visible amidst the grotesque mask, a door she knew led to her father's room. But are we going to step on them? Lyu Xuan was about to respond, but was interrupted by a sudden, violent cough that racked her body. Doubled over, clutching Soothing Shi's shoulders for support. As her coughing fit subsided, a sudden movement caught her eye. The creatures were retreating, not toward them, but away. They surged backwards in unison, flowing like liquid toward the door.
Uh,
Lyu Xuan aimed the flashlight ahead. The sight of the now vacant hallway left her more unsettled than they were when they had first opened the door.
这也不可能是被我的咳嗽声给吓走的。那他们是希望我们过去吧？林夕，说不定门后有什么人等着跟我们见面。
They know we're here to help. The biting pair. Oh, yeah.
an oldie but a goodie.
就是因为有话想说，那些东西才一直没攻击我们吧？
Lyu Xuan glanced down at Palian, who was crouched on the ground, its head tilted upwards as if it, too, was assessing the situation. Their eyes seemed to meet, sharing an unspoken understanding. Lyu Xuan half squatted and reached out, her hand smoothing over Palian's long, gray-black fur, slow, deliberate strokes. Palian, as if reassured, leaned into her touch, pressing its face against her left hand. For a few seconds, Lyu Xuan focused on the warmth of Palian. It was a brief moment of calm in the growing tension. She let her hand linger as Palian rose shakily to its feet, still nuzzling the back of her hand.
感觉他比平时还要黏着你啊。
我也不明白他的想法。
Protective dog.
总之，先去门那里看看。
Palian, seeing that Lyu Xuan didn't respond further, lay back on the ground, its head still tilted upwards, watching her intently. Lyu Xuan quickly led the way to the door. Once there, she grasped the doorknob and attempted to push it inward. Like before, there was no resistance on the other side. Turned back to meet Soothing Shi's gaze, then firmly twisted the doorknob and pushed the door open. Normal.
Mm-hmm.
The room beyond was vast, around 200 square meters. designated as Su Zheng's private space. Lyu Xuan scanned the area. There were no partition walls, and no signs of anything strange. The turbulent greenish creatures had vanished without a trace.
之前在楼道里的地毯还吸了一些水迹，换成瓷砖地，就什么都没有了。
监控室应该已经看到我们了，那个司机肯定会联系我爸，抓紧时间吧。
没关系，有人来的话，我会。
I have a gun.
Yeah. Oh no. Before she could finish, a violent cough overtook her, forcing her to one knee. One hand braced her torso against the ground as a skull-slitting headache struck her.
姐姐你怎么？啊！你后面，看你后面。
What?
Oh no. Oh, hi.
Oh!
Hello there.
You know, it feels like the monsters in this one are more upsetting than before.
Yeah. Lyu Xuan turned sharply, her eyes locking on a massive jellyfish-like creature floating in the air. Its form seemed incomplete, its interior structure still morphing and growing.
他是什么时候？不对，是从我这里。
Oh dear.
I hate it here.
She realized that fine dust and particles were emanating from her body, feeding the creature. These particles were building its radio water vessels, tentacles with the characteristic umbrella-like structure.
What does that mean?
Like a typical jellyfish, it wasn't translucent or delicate. Its appearance was cloudy, with blotches across its surface reminiscent of mold spreading in a petri dish. Inside the umbrella-like structure were dense, mushroom-like gills, vibrating as they released dark yellow spores, far larger than ordinary dust. I hate it. Lyu Xuan quickly stripped off her gloves, as she feared a deep wound marred the back of her left hand. Small, visible mushrooms were growing from it, their caps rising and rupturing in rapid cycles, scattering spores like dandelions before withering and dying. Yet new mycelium grew instantly in their place, repeating the cycle every 5 seconds. Oh man. Oh dear.
Really bad.
Oh my god. What in the heck? Without hesitation, Lyu Xuan drew a knife from her pocket, plunged it into the wound, carving out the infected flesh in a swift circular motion. She threw the excised tissue onto the ground and immediately felt a wave of relief. She flipped her hand over, watching the numbers displayed, and her skin rapidly declined.
这段时间咳嗽和小白一直碰我左手的原因就是他。
Oh.
Oh, she knew. Muddy jellyfish, sensing the source of the dust disappeared, seemed to become very nervous as it shook its body desperately, scattering a large number of spores. Oh dear. The moment the spores touched the ground, they gave birth to mycelium, and then, just like the situation on the back of the Lyu Xuan's hand, a round of life and death cycle was completed after only 5 seconds. Oh!
Whoa.
And the ground it touched felt like it had been absorbed, leaving only depressions. The other spores were in a similar situation, landing on sofas, lamps, and coffee tables, and the originally exquisite decorated room was turned around and punched out with countless holes. Time to fuck up Dad's room.
姐姐，你的手。
It's okay, he can pay for it.
She spoke, a spore landed on Su Lingxi's cheek. Uh-oh. Nothing happened. The spore bounced harmlessly off her soft skin and landed on her shoulder, in contact with her jacket. In seconds, the spore triggered a rapid 5-second cycle, eating away at a portion of the fabric. Startled, Su Lingxi hurriedly shrugged off the jacket and let it fall to the ground.
这是什么东西？
Damage to the jacket gave Lyu Xuan an idea. She reasoned that the spores only reacted with inorganic compounds, that she had been parasitized because of the number embedded in her hand. Yeah.
Pew pew.
Wasting no time, Lyu Xuan fired 2 quick shots at the cloudy umbrella-like structure of the jellyfish. Both bullets pierced through, causing a sewage-like liquid to seep from the wounds.
Oh, why did God sewage liquid?
Oh, it's full of juice. However, the creature didn't stop releasing spores. The floor and walls of the room were slowly being eaten away, and at this rate, the structural integrity of the building was at risk.
没时间多想了。
Backing away, Lyu Xuan caught sight of the endless dark sky outside the window. A plan began to take shape.
林夕，我要把窗户打破，你去墙角蹲着。
Su Lingxi nodded and ran toward the designated corner. She crouched low and braced herself against the wall on the right side of the room. Once soothing she was in position, Lyu Xuan turned her attention to the window. He fired at it, cracking a glass covered with its gold-colored film. He grabbed a nearby chair and smashed it through.
Pew pew pew
Ooh.
smash.
Window shattered with a resounding crash. Immediately, a fierce wind howled into the room, whipping through space with relentless force. Lyu Xuan dropped low, gripping the leg of a table to anchor herself against the gale. The jellyfish struggled desperately, its tentacles flailing as it searched for something solid to grab onto. The spores it had released had already eroded any surfaces it might have clung to. Meanwhile, the fragile spores themselves were no match for the wind. They disintegrated instantly, scattering into the air and disappearing entirely.
再坚持一会儿。
The jellyfish's survival instinct far exceeded Lyu Xuan's expectations. It restructured itself, shortening several of its tentacles to reallocate mass and concentrate its strength into a single extended limb. Oh boy. Newly elongated tentacle whipped through the air with precision, aiming directly at Lyu Xuan.
什么？
Oh!
Oh,
After efforts to dodge, the tentacle wrapped tightly around her ankle. The creature itself, however, was too light to resist the force of the wind. Oh, that is... I don't like that. I don't like this. It was dragged out of the room, flailing helplessly like a kite, with a string tied firmly to Lyu Xuan's ankle. Acting quickly, Lyu Xuan curled her body into a defensive position, engaging her abdominal muscles as she reached for a small knife tucked in her coat. Gripping the blade tightly to prevent it from being swept away, prepared to sever the tentacle. Before she could act, a sudden, powerful tug from the jellyfish yanked her off her feet and into the air. Oh no! The jellyfish was blown further away, its umbrella-like structure shredding apart in the wind. The ruptured membrane transformed into a parachute-like shape, catching more wind and dramatically increasing the force pulling Lyu Xuan, boosting her body mid-air. Lyu Xuan managed to crash against the wall just below the shattered window. She braced her legs against the wall, pressing her body downward as if engaged in a desperate tug-of-war with the jellyfish. Kept her head low, shielding her skin from the relentless wind. Her goal was to hold out long enough for the wind to completely tear the jellyfish apart. The relentless pull from the parachute-like structure made her struggle to stay grounded. Her waist began to lift, her body inching closer to being carried out into the void. At that moment, she felt a soft but firm touch around her waist. Turning her head, she saw Su Lingxi clutching her tightly, planting herself on the ground and using all her strength to anchor them both.
你太轻了，没用的。
不行，
hit the gym.
Yeah. Do you even lift? The strain in Lyu Xuan's legs burned like fire, every muscle screaming in agony as if she was standing in a scorching desert. Her body felt as though it was reaching its limit. Relentless wind battered her face. She could feel herself losing sensation.
小白，
Hellion. Oh no.
Helion, eat this guy.
Yeah. A white blur darted across the floor, skillfully moving between debris tossed around by the waging wind. Hellion approached Lyu Xuan with remarkable agility. Right. Two organs on either side of Palion's head expanded to their maximum size as it opened its mouth wide. Precision and ferocity, Palion clamped down on the jellyfish's tentacle. Snap. The jellyfish thrashed, attempting to shake off Palion's powerful jaws, but for several desperate struggles, the tentacle gave way. Lyu Xuan and Su Lingxi tumbled to the floor, finally freed from the jellyfish's grasp. Its fragmented form vanished into the void. However, the danger had only intensified. With the jellyfish partially blocking the shattered window, the full force of the wind surged into the room, turning it into a vortex of chaos. Objects were lifted and flung toward the gaping void.
现在很难逃出这个房间，要找个地方躲起来。
Scanned the room and noticed something unexpected. Torn wallpaper flapped in the wind, revealing an elevator embedded within its wall. Hidden feature deliberately concealed by Su Zheng. Lyu Xuan pointed toward the elevator, her voice lost in the deafening roar of the wind. Fortunately, soothing, she understood the gesture and clung tightly to her arm. Driven against the wind's relentless force, Lyu Xuan fought away to the elevator door and slammed the button. In swift motion, she turned and stretched out her hand toward Palion, beckoning it. Palion sprang forward with remarkable agility, leaping into the elevator and nudging them all inside. Good girl. The trio collapsed onto the floor, catching their breath. Lyu Xuan at last felt a respite from her persistent coughing fits. Palin retracted the organs near their head and crawled closer to her, gently licking the wound on her cheek as if offering comfort.
这回真是被小白救了一命，反应真快。
A good girl.
Oh, she's really cute without her jacket.
Yeah. She extended her hand to stroke Palin's back, the creature's soft fur calming her frazzled nerves.
算是第2次被他救了。
She scratched Palin's chin, eliciting a long, luxurious stretch from the creature, clearly relishing the attention. The elevator's control panel displayed only 2 buttons, one labeled up and the other down. Hesitation, Lyu Xuan pressed the up button. Ah yes, we want to go up further. The elevator shuddered slightly and began to
怎么
ascend.
回事？这里应该是顶层了，再往上只有露天的屋顶了。
We're going to heaven.
We're going to meet Jimmy.
We're about to meet God.
And we reveal that God is just Jimi Hendrix. The elevator ride was brief, halting with a soft chime. Heavy stainless steel doors slid open. Revealing a space beyond, shrouded in darkness, the area beneath their feet was faintly lit by the elevator's overhead light. As soothing she moved a step forward, Lyu Xuan held her back, taking the lead. The elevator doors closed silently behind them as Lyu Xuan ventured into the dark. Oh! Concerning! Without her flashlight, lost in the chaos earlier, she pulled her phone from her coat pocket and switched on its light. Beam illuminated a large room, its layout similar to the one they had just left. Curtains hung around the perimeter. There were no overhead lights. I wasn't expecting this side quest to take this long.
Yeah, me neither. I was thinking that after this side quest, I'd like to end stream for the day.
Yeah. It is. Oh, we want to give it a little bit more and see if we discover something unsettling, or do we want to...
Yeah.
Alright.
I want to see something unsettling before I sleep.
We already have pleasant visages of jellyfish monster. After careful observation, Lyu Xuan noticed subtle differences in the furnishings. The most striking feature was a large bathtub, its surface covered by an insulation board.
什么味道？闻得我头晕。
香水吧，但是用的太多了，看来就是我们在走廊里闻到的味道。
She sniffed the air, her experience telling her this wasn't a simple air freshener. It was likely being used to mask another, far less pleasant odor. Approaching the bathtub, the two cautiously lifted the insulation board. Inside, the gelatinous creatures from the corridor were crammed together in the steaming basin, using a nauseating stench that mingled with the overpowering perfume. Dozens of empty perfume bottles littered the floor nearby, evidence of a desperate attempt to suppress the foul odor. Palin recoiled immediately, retreating from the bathtub in apparent disgust. Understandable. Lyu Xuan instinctively leaned back, shielding Soothing Sheep with her arm. Body tensed, anticipating an attack from the bubbling putrid liquid. To her surprise, the substance remained still, showing no signs of aggression.
站到他旁边都没有什么特别的反应，难道真的没有攻击性吗？先盖起来吧，不要轻举妄动。反正苏珍肯定知道这是什么。
Just as they were about to move, a sudden ring shattered the silence. Soothing, she flinched before quickly pulling out her phone. Caller ID showed it was her father, Su Zheng.
喂，对，我和朋友进到你房间了，
Oh, alright.
没出事，但是我们找到了电梯，你懂吧？
Yeah, there was no further trouble, Dad.
Nothing strange here. Don't worry about the...
What if that was his pet?
Don't worry about the alarms and the furniture flying out from 30 stories up. Don't worry about it, Dad. Words hung in the air as she waited for a response. The silence on the other end stretched uncomfortably long.
喂，你人呢？没什么，就看到一个浴缸，里面还有一堆绿水，这是什么东西啊？
Soothing She's expression suddenly shifted to one of the surprise, but later a faint smile appeared on her face.
真的吗？好，好，那我就等你回来了。不过你住的地方出了些问题， 现在我们不能进去了，有别的路走吗？
He listened carefully, nodding at the instructions given before hanging up. Could we be trusting this? Turning to Lyu Xuan, she grabbed her hand
我爸
lightly.
说，等他回来就会把所有事情告诉我。看来这个房间对他来说，确实是不能让我知道的秘密。
那就好，这样也算达到目的了。
不过他在外地，暂时脱不开身，等他回来，估计还要一阵子。
Excitement was palpable as she clung to Lyu Xuan's hand, smile growing wider.
姐姐，谢谢你。
没事，但这之后就轮到你帮我了。
放心放心，我对你的服务很满意，不会食言的。
Lyu Xuan shrugged and followed Soothing She back to the elevator. Recalling the instructions from Soothing She's father, she pressed the down button 3 times. The elevator hummed softly before descending to the underground parking lot. Oh.
Huh.
Expecting the... In the car, Soothing She sat in the back seat, her excitement almost tangible. Tapped her feet rhythmically and scrolled through her phone with an eager expression.
老爸回来之前这几天都没人盯着我了，有好多地方想去呢。
Oh.
去吧去吧。
那也得等姐姐的事情调查完才行。现在对我来说，这件事比别的都重要。
GG, easy.
好，那回家就开始吧。
刚才姐姐和小白表现太好了，接下来轮到我啦。
那我好好期待了。
That was a lot. Lyu Xuan lay on her bed, her nerves taut. Part of her attention came from the looming
Really
results of
exciting
the
day, Lyu
investigation.
Xuan.
Yeah, a hell of a day. The other part was rooted in Soothing She's impending delve into her memories.
准备好了吗？
开始吧。
Oh, are we just getting right into it? Alright. Oh boy. She manipulated the colloid, shaping it into tiny human-like figures that began moving across Lyu Xuan's body.
That's what her arms do.
The colloid absorbed her emotions, thoughts, and fragmented memories and returned the impressions back to Soothing She. Soothing She uncovered the truth she sought, the fragmented memories that Lyu Xuan longed to remember as well. Whoa.
Oh.
Whoa. Whoa. What? Whoa. Whoa.
Oh.
Gun. Gun
The
training.
CGs thus far have been mostly photographed with filters. That was drawn.
Yeah, that was straight up art. Investigation concluded. For some time, Soothing She's red, swollen eyes betrayed the emotional toll it had taken. Sat quietly, struggling to find the words, tears streaking her face.
姐，你好辛苦，怎么会经历这么多？
Lyu Xuan reached out, placing a reassuring hand on Soothing She's shoulder. Gaze softened. A flicker of unease remained.
没事，都过去了。
Oh, she knew what Soothing She preferred to. The hardships from her childhood in the orphanage. Years of struggle and relentless work. Compared to the lives of most people, her journey had been fraught with suffering.
怎么样？能知道那天晚上发生了什么吗？
不好说，我感觉很糟糕，得到的信息里漏洞非常多，而且是从你出生一直到那天晚上为止，都存在着巨大的漏洞。
That's
什
concerning.
么叫漏洞？
我的胶质只能以你的角度、你的知识去看东西。以前我调查的目标都和超自然生物没关系，所以没见过这种情况。但这次出现了很多不清不楚的漏洞。你知道，这意味着姐姐你看到了某些东西，现在你却无法理解那是什么。
That would explain. Lyu
That's
Xuan
sweet horrors
blinked.
beyond our comprehension.
Heck yeah. Her unease deepening. Soothing She's words struck like a tidal wave, fear swelling within her as though she was a small ship about to be capsized.
所以，你从小开始就跟某个超自然生物在一起，
Oh.
而杀死你，
What？
再将你复活，且赋予你这一亿价值的，当然也是超自然生物，而且很可能是负数。
Oh.
Speak on that.
Tell me more.
不可能，我在机关里的时候也……
不，你离开孤儿院之后，他就不在你身边了，直到你结束在机关的训练，来到路程，他才重新出现。但是，从你被杀死的那天晚上开始，他又消失不见，而且再也没出现过。
Ah,
Lyu Xuan's gaze shifted sharply to Palian, lounging on the sofa and grooming its
是
fur.
他吗？
当然不是，姐姐肯定不会忘记他吧？
Lyu Xuan exhaled deeply, her thoughts racing. It wasn't just the revelation itself that unsettled her, it was the implications.
姐姐，抱歉，好像没太帮上忙。
怎么会？多亏有你，我才知道了一件很重要的事。
I don't have the spoons to process this, but it feels very
真
important.
的吗？什么事呀？
原本我以为是在那天晚上之后，我才被卷入这些奇奇怪怪的事情里。但你
you mean
调
2
查的
days
结果
ago?
却表明从很久以前开始就是，而且他又正好在那天晚上消失，恐怕是跟着我的那个东西已经达到他的目的，所以离开了。
Oh, it's been killing you and bringing you back, and then when it last time it left, it just said, "All right, I'm paying up now. Bye."
听起
Thanks.
来有点恐怖啊！
什么都不知道的时候才恐怖，现在至少是有一些头绪了。不过，你的事情也还没结束，等苏珍回来之后，
Oh,
我们再
good,
一起
yeah.
和她见面吧。
So we're not just gonna leave her to that by
有
herself.
姐姐
That's
在
good.，
我很放心啦。而且我们也见到顶楼藏着的东西，这次苏珍可推脱不掉了。
Soothing, she stood, stretching her arms high above her head, her movements accompanied by a soft kitten-like groan.
好啦，那我先去洗澡。好久没像今天这样上蹿下跳的，全身都要散架了。
你才17岁
17.
散架
Oh.
She just looks young, right?
Soothing, she grinned and playfully trotted out of the room. Lyu Xuan let out a small sigh of relief, sinking into the bed and staring up at the ceiling.
17岁啊！
Oh my goodness. Okay. We are
Good
saving.
stream.
Good stream. Holy crap. That was wild.
Yeah.
Woo.